Fellas, I was thinking, I just found out today that, because I got a question for the panel. I just found out today that Jamal Murray is the first player in NBA history to go 50, 40, 90 in the Western in any conference championship, not the Western Conference Championship, any conference championship. That's a big deal. So I got to thinking about guys that never made the All-Star team. Both of them on top of their games. CJ McCollum or Jamal Murray.
Oh, I just saw your TikTok. You just posted that on TikTok. I just saw that. I commented on your TikTok. I'm gonna say the same thing here. Jamal, I said recency bias is gonna make people think that Jamal is clearly better.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone who says that would be 100% correct. Jamal Murray is clearly better than CJ McCollum, just substantially better in my opinion. We did the question on the King of the Court where I had to pick the best player to not make an All-Star team. I went with CJ. Mm-hmm. The answer now would be Jamal Murray. He is the correct answer to that question. So, but he'll probably be an All-Star next season if Denver win the championship. So he won't be the answer to that question for very long.
Right.
Tom? I think it's an easy one. I've never been a fan of CJ McCollum though, so it's easy for me to pick Jamal Murray.
Right. Now, mind you, Tone, they played against each other in the Western Conference semifinals 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Hence the term 5 years ago. That's not the same dude from 5 years ago, right? This is not Jamal Murray. And CJ outplayed him 5 years ago. 100% he did. But from the eye test, it looks to me like 100% he's better. Jamal Murray is better. Now, with that being said, Mars, he does have the luxury of playing with Joker.
Yes.
That doesn't mean that Dame is a slouch, because Dame created a lot of space for a lot of guys. However, he's not the offensive force that Joker is. He doesn't create the gravity that Joker does. And we have to take under consideration that, CJ McCollum did have, I think, a 5 or 6 year stretch where I was 22 a game in a nightmare Western Conference.
CJ's good. It's just
again, it's not that CJ's bad.
Right.
It's just that when you say stuff like, well, Jamal has the luxury of playing with Jokic. But then, like, when we have conversations about players, we say, oh, well, CJ had to play second fiddle to Dame. What would happen if he was the leader? Well, we've seen CJ be kind of the lead guy a little bit.
Right.
And it's not that impressive. But we've also seen Jamal step up and be the best player on that team in stretches, right? Not that Jokic is we know Jokic is a better player overall, but it's just like, we're always making an excuse. If I look at these two guys, and head to head, he outplayed him head to head. I know that sucks. It doesn't help the resume. But when you look at the totality of what they've done, you use your eyes and your stats and all. Jamal Murray's a better player. Again, it might not be a big gap, but he's a better player.
I think it's a pretty big gap. I'm not gonna lie. I do. The where it would be close is them as scorers, because as a playmaker and as a passer, I think Jamal Murray is clearly better. Defensively, he's substantially better than CJ. But then as a scorer, Jamal Murray has more layers to his game, in my opinion. And the things that they both do better, I think Jamal Murray is better at that as well. I think they're both very good shooters. I think Jamal Murray is a better shooter. I think off the dribble, Jamal Murray is better. Jamal Murray has a post game that CJ McCollum doesn't have. He's better around the rim. And I'd argue he's probably better without the ball as well, because he does play off Jokic very well and he's able to operate in that dribble handoff, that two-man game. So I just think everything that CJ McCollum does, Jamal Murray does better, and then he does more things as well. So it's like...
So we're about to find out that Jamal Murray can be the number 2 on a championship team, right? Can CJ McCollum be a number 2, or does he have to be a number 3 on a championship team?
Well, we've already established that, Tone, because we saw what happened in the Western Conference Championship when they got mopped out of the finals. So it's obvious that he's not only a championship team, he's a number 2 on a championship contender, because they clearly got outplayed by the Golden State Warriors. Now, if you look at what Jamal Murray did on a championship, not a championship, they still a championship contender. They haven't won it yet. But in the process of them winning it, he can clearly be a number 2 on a championship contender as well. But he's a little bit better at it than what CJ was.
Hold on, chill.
Would Denver still be in the finals if they had prime CJ McCollum instead of Jamal?
And that's what I was about to ask you.
That was the question, because again, I'm looking at I'm looking at how well CJ played off of Dame, and I don't think Dame was the offensive player. He wasn't the passer. He wasn't the playmaker that Joker is. Now, in terms of a shot creator, I don't think that we give enough credit to CJ McCollum as a shot creator, because I think CJ McCollum is a damn good shot creator, and he's a tough shot maker, just like Jamal Murray. I don't think the gap is that wide between those two. But when you're running with a guy like Joker, making tough shots is not as common as playing with Dame, because I got a guy where I'm going to get more open looks than I'm going to have to make tough shots. Now don't get me wrong, Jamal Murray makes tough shots, but he doesn't have to, simply because I'm running with Joker, which means that I'm going to get better looks because of the gravity that he creates. A little bit more than Dame. That's not, and again, I want to make sure I'm clear that doesn't mean that Dame doesn't, because I'm saying right now, Mars, you'll hear people go, well, he was playing with Dame. Okay, I understand that. And Dame was awesome as an offensive player, but he wasn't Joker. He's not Joker good.
I also do want to say on top of that, none of them Portland teams, I believe, were better than this Nuggets team right now, as currently constructed. So CJ never had the luxury of having a team around him that was as good as this as well, to help his deficiencies and to help him, look better, I guess. And then furthermore too, though, I mean, obviously it's a good discussion to have, but as you started the conversation saying, Jamal Murray's the first player to go 50, 40, 90 in a playoff series.
No, in the West Finals, in the conference finals in the history of the NBA. Nobody never did that.
So with that being said, CJ's played in enough playoff series for us to see him in his playoff mode, and I don't think he ever did anything comparable to what Jamal just did.
Facts.
I agree. I'm surprised Steph never went 50-40-90 in the Western Conference Finals, but I guess he must have missed it by a couple percentages, because I remember that 2015 series against Houston. He was killing Houston. I thought he would have done it that year, but I guess
he was killing Oklahoma City in 16 too.
And 2017 against the Spurs as well. He kills a lot in the Western Conference Finals. So I assume he's been close a few times, but just never, probably missed out on a few percentage points.
Yeah.
What's up, Ticket? How you living?
What's good?
What up, Ticket TV? Yeah, we got you.
I think that's why I was telling Lo. I thought probably up until that last game, I had Jamal Murray as an MVP of the West Finals. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was telling Chilltown, and I'm like, bro, y'all don't see what this nigga doing? But then that last game, he kind of tailed off and then opened it up for Joker when he got that triple-double. You know what I'm saying? It was sort of like that situation where some people thought Steph Curry was going to win the MVP over KD, and then when KD ended up having a triple-double in the last game, it was just like, boom, they gave it to KD.
KD actually tried to give the Finals MVP to Steph Curry, but he just couldn't do it.
Steph Curry step.
Yeah, he was trying to do it. He just couldn't get it. He couldn't get it.
He knew who the leader of that team was. He was doing the right thing.
Look at your ass, Floyd. Floyd, you a sad dude. You know that, man. If the whole world could see the arguments you and Dale have, you're a sad dude, dog.
No, I was arguing with Dub. Dale just didn't like that I brought him in.
Right. Shout out to Dale, man.
Yo, so Ticket, you clearly taking Jamal Murray over CJ McCollum, or it's a debate? It's something you got to think about.
Remember, Ticket. We ain't talking about CJ McCollum today. We talking about CJ on top of his game.
Jamal Murray, to me, when he's healthy, he clear. He cleared. He just better than CJ McCollum.
Mm-hmm.
When Jamal Murray's healthy, he's better than CJ McCollum. Because I thought he was all through the playoffs the first time when they went to the Western Conference Finals. He was giving Spidey Mitchell 50 in that series. You remember that?
He did do that.
And then now, just the show he been putting on this year.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what is he gonna do in the finals? You know what I'm saying? He gonna dance on them again. He's the key to me. He's the key to that team. Jokic can have as many triple doubles he wants. If he don't have Jamal Murray on that team, he doesn't win. He does not advance, and that's the truth. You know what I'm saying? It's sort of like a Kobe and Shaq thing to a lower level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Shaq could be as dominant as he want. If you don't have Kobe, they don't get the rings. Even though Shaq gonna be dominant, Jokic gonna be dominant. But if he don't have Jamal Murray, his ass going home in the first round.
I'm glad you brought that up, Ticket. I'm glad you brought that up, Ticket, because my next question was, with this Denver team, the way that they look, Jamal Murray 27, Joker 28. Can we see a lesser version of Shaq and Kobe for the next couple of years?
Yeah, no, I mean, if Murray stay healthy, yeah, but it's going to be a point where Murray ends up taking over. He's a more guy that's in more shape. He's a more guy that's fit. Joker will probably take a step back in a few years due to I don't see him being at his top like this for a long time. His peak is going to be for a very short time because he's not in the physical shape that you need to be to sustain that. Once
he dropped
started
35 pounds though, Ticket. He dropped 35 pounds. In fact, when he dropped that 30,
he still got titties though. He walked. Man, come on now. Let's be honest.
That's part of it, right? That's part right. That's part of it. But with that being said, though, Ticket, when he dropped them 35 pounds, if you notice, then he started playing at an MVP level. And
right, I know, but I'm saying he ain't gonna. No, I'm saying, but if you look at his body type and just him,
right,
he'll be like this for another 3 years, and then he'll tail off. Murray will still be ascending. It'll be like something like what happened with Kobe and Shaq, where Shaq started to get a little bit out of shape later on, and then Kobe was just supreme. Murray looks like one of those guys where he's gonna rise. I told you, if Murray wins the championship this year and finals MVP, he's a superstar in my eyes, and that's gonna propel him to that status. And he's gonna be all the way on swag come next year. He's gonna be all the way swagged up come next year.
You say you're a superstar, but what do you got to actually do on the biggest stage in basketball?
No, I'm saying if he doing what he doing now in the finals and they win,
do you think he gonna keep this up?
Hell yeah, bro. When you win that like that, bro,
in the finals,
bro. When you do that, listen. When you do what he doing now, bro, like, and you do that and you win a championship, bro, he gonna feel like he the best guard in the world come back next year. So he'll come out the gate punishing dudes next year at an elite level. And they're going to look at him different on that team too. They're going to look at him like, yo, he's an elite, all-star, superstar level guard because of his ability. Not because he was a sidekick, but because he was a dude that was a lot of the times closing, a lot of the times carrying, and doing all the in-between stuff that was needed in order to win a championship. And Jamal Murray, like I said, he can flat out take over games.
So
he is a flat out. He's a superstar without the name, bro. If he had that type of game and play for the Lakers, if he had that type of game, play for the Knicks, if he had that type of name and play for and he's doing what he's doing now, they'd already propelled him to superstar status.
But Ticket, if this is the case, if you're saying that he's gonna ball out the way he balled out in the Western Conference Finals, you damn near saying he got action at Finals MVP.
Yes, he does. 100% he does. And if he play, we're talking about a dude, Ron, who just went 50, 40, 90 in the West Finals and averaged 35 a game, right? So if he's doing that in the finals, averaging, and not only if he's doing that in the finals with what Joker is doing, they're going to be hard to beat. And
he's going to have to do it. He's going to have to do it if they want to win. Because what Espo is going to do is he's going to cut off Jokic oxygen. What I mean is those assists. They're going to stay home. He's going to cut off Jokic oxygen and make Jokic try to beat him offensively. That's something a lot of teams haven't done. They double team Jokic and play right into his hands. If you cut off Jokic oxygen, if he's only getting 5, 6 assists a game, they're not going to win. They only win when Jokic, and that's the reason why they beat the Lakers. Jokic maxed out. He getting 12, 14 assists a game. That means everybody else is cooking.
But when he comes down to
so hold on.
To cut it in half, though, Ticket? To cut that production in half, man.
We've seen it. We've seen it before. Hold on. We've seen it before. We saw it what did he average in the conference finals when he played against the Lakers a few years ago?
Well,
we've seen him. Right. No, what I'm saying, hold on. But what I'm saying is we've seen dudes cut down his assists to where he's getting 6, 7 assists, not no 12, 13, 14 assists.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But here's the thing, though, Ticket. You going off what we saw in 2020 with Joker. This is a different dude than we got today.
No,
this is not the same dude.
No, you're not hearing me though. The Lakers had it halfway right. For a half, they had him right. They have him dead to rights. The other guy's not getting off. Then there's one half, everybody else get off. For example, look at that. Look at the other game. It was just him and Murray. One game, it was just Murray. Everybody else was shut off. It was Murray scoring 30. Okay, cool. You shut everybody. What Espo is going to do is this is only chance to win. Is it stay home with everybody else and let Jokic try to beat you offensively. Why? Because they don't have a matchup for Jokic offensively as far as guarding him and stopping him one-on-one. Jokic is not the type of dude that want to try to go get 50 to beat you. That's not how he want to beat you. He want to beat you by picking you apart and then him taking advantage when he can at certain points in the game with his matchup. If he can't pick you apart, if you're not giving up open cuts, layups, drives to the other guys, the cutters, if you're not giving up those open threes, Michael Porter Jr. can't score if you just give him the ball, tell him to go get you a bucket.
No, that's not his game.
KCP's not that type of player where you tell him go get me a bucket and score. You got to be leaving those guys, helping off those guys for those guys to be able to get off and get open shots. That's the same thing with Jeff Green. All the way, the only other dude is Murray. So if he goes berserk and they win, he's the Finals MVP.
But with that being said, though, Ticket, I'm sorry, Tony, because you sound like you was about to say something.
Oh.
But with that being said, Ticket, Denver's offense is predicated solely on Joker. Now, what you telling me is that we're going to cut off his air supply by cutting everybody else off. The reason why that offense is as good as it is because of the action that they get off of Joker. It's not like everybody is just there for themselves. No, we got a lot of action off the basketball. We got a lot of pick and pops. We got a lot of dribble handoffs. We got a lot of movement without the basketball. And as a defense, when the ball is moving, people are moving. When people are moving, the defense is off balance. And if you're doing that constantly, eventually that defense is going to crack. And that's why Denver is so good. And here's the problem with that, though, Ticket. As big as Denver is, with Gordon, with MPJ, with Joker, KCP 6'5", as big as these guys are, Jeff Green 6'9", right? Brown 6'6". As big as these guys are, they can't match that. So when you're talking about an offense that's constantly moving, getting plays at the basket, shooting the long ball, spreading them out as much as you do, it's going to be real difficult to cut off that quote unquote air supply that you talk about from Joker.
What was Miami defensively this year, Fluent?
I have no idea.
I think Miami. I think they were in the top 10 in the league defensively. Miami was. I think they were.
What were they ranked?
Where's Mo when you need him? Where's Mo when you need him?
What were they ranked defensively this year, Mars?
I'll look it up.
Pull that up right now because I'm about to.
Glad I find it.
While he's looking that up, though, the fat lady hasn't sung yet, and that series still isn't over. So I do want to ask because obviously
your defensive rating was 9th.
Okay, so yeah, top 10 defense, Grill Town. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
And I'm glad you brought that up, though. But here's the difference, though, Ticket. They went up against the Lakers, who had the best defense in the playoffs, and they smoked them dudes. What are we talking about?
Hold on, come on. But you held something out.
No, I didn't. Not only did they play.
Since the trade deadline, the Lakers have had the number 1 ranked defense.
No,
not only did they have the best defense in the league. Not only did they have the best. No, we're not lying. Not only did they have the best defense, they arguably had the best defensive player.
No, you're not hearing me. You two, hold on. You two are withholding. You two are withholding information. You're withholding information. Okay, so hold on. What was the biggest problem in that last series, Ron, with the Lakers and the Nuggets?
What was the biggest problem?
What was the biggest problem for the Lakers in the Lakers and Nuggets series?
Joker.
No. I said, what was the biggest problem for the Lakers in that series, for the Lakers on their team?
The inconsistency of Anthony Davis?
Yeah.
No. D'Lo Russell was absolute cancer on offense and on defense for you guys. Now, the moment you took him out the game, you're up 15 going in a half. What does Darvin Ham do? And this is why people run around here calling him Darvin Scam. You go back with D'Lo in the second half.
No, Ticket, that logic doesn't work. And the reason why that logic doesn't work is because you just told me a couple of days ago that you can't yank him in and out of the lineup. You can't do that.
I didn't say because of that. I didn't say because of that. I said because of his feelings going forward, because you have to re-sign him probably if you can't get nobody else. So you don't want to kill the asset. Not for basketball purposes. For basketball purposes, I agree. The man hit the side of the backboard, bro, on a wide open 3. Then he couldn't guard nobody. So now we taking that away, right? Because if you had a coach like E. Spo, that series is tied right now. If E. Spo was coaching the Lakers. High series. A lot of that series, and I love Darvin Ham, is coaching. And you and I know it. Because it came down to the wire every game. So that's coaching. Right? Because if you make certain adjustments, now you're looking at a different series coming down the wire. D'Lo was so bad in that series, bro. He hurt himself almost $50, $60, $70 million. He have completely killed his value. That's how bad he was offensively and defensively. He allowed dudes like Bruce Brown to have moments where he basically destroyed the Lakers.
He outplayed them 100%.
Right, thoroughly.
He outplayed them.
Dude made an all-star team, D'Angelo Russell. And they said they were going to target you. So you think Espo has some of the same? You don't think Espo comes with Tristan Thompson early in that series?
Which we already had this discussion that he would do.
Right. So what I'm saying to you is that when you're looking at a team like the Miami Heat, who's well coached by a guy like Espo, you have to give it up. You can't just say, "Oh man, what is it?" No, Because he's
coaching is going to matter.
coaching.
100%. Coaching. I think it's going to be a chess match between if Miami and Ron's going to get to it. If Miami were to get out of the Eastern Conference, I think it's going to be a chess match between him and Mike Malone. 100%. I believe that.
Right. And they're going to and Fluent. Mark my words. What Eastbo is going to do is he's going to deny the shooters. He's going to deny those guys, and I'm talking about KCP and Michael Porter Jr. They're going to be denied from catching the ball. They're going to put heavy pressure on them, deny them from catching the ball. They're going to play Jokic probably one-on-one without double-teaming Jokic to entice Jokic to go and try to go get 40 or 50, which ain't going to work, right? And they're going to do the best they can on Jamal Murray, one-on-one. They may trap him every now and then if he gets way out of control. But those other guys, bro, they staying home. And the one thing about Miami is they can pretty much switch everything.
No, they can't, Ticket. No, they cannot. No.
Hey, hold on. How can they not? Hold on. You start right?
We can't have Max Strus covering Joker. That can't work. No.
No, I'm saying they can pretty much switch everything. No. With that matchup, hold on. That matchup with Joker.
Mars.
Okay.
We can't have Kevin Love on Joker.
Yeah, I don't know why I was talking about Miami's matchup. I've just been confused because we know Boston are in the finals anyway. So I don't know why we're doing this, but
you'll see.
But theoretically, Miami can switch everything. MPJ is 6'10". He'll be a mismatch for Gabe Vincent, Max Strus, all of those guys. He's just shooting over the top every time. And Aaron Gordon's too strong for those guys as well. So like he's also a mismatch.
Aaron Gordon switched on to Max Strus. That's not going to work.
Hold on. That's the line about PJ. Michael Porter Jr. His handles is weak.
He gets the ball. And
his handles. Hold on, Mark. His handles is weak, and he can only get off a jump shot if you give him space.
He has space. If a guy's 6'2" on him, that's space.
He rides up over the top.
That's space.
I've seen him getting stripped down too many times. Guys is on top of that.
He was doing that with Austin Reeves. And Austin Reeves 6'5".
Watch him. No. He got up on the Lakers because they let him get open a few times. All of his points was running in transition, running to the 3-point line. I'm gonna hit him. He pulls up. He's in the corner. We fall asleep. Leave him alone. You pass to him in the corner. He pulls up. Bang. But if I'm denying him the ball and I'm pressuring him on every possession, that dude ain't getting off like that, man. He don't have no other asset to his game. And then he's a horrible defender.
He's average.
But my question is, because like I was saying earlier, the Fat Lady hasn't sung yet. The series is still going. And Boston still has a chance, as slim as it may be. So I want to ask you guys, who actually matches up best against the Nuggets? The Celtics or the Heat? Who do the Nuggets want to play least?
They'd rather play Boston. I think so? They'd rather play. Yes. Because Joe Mazzulla, I mean, Jesus.
Well, I think, it's because of coaching. But I mean, like, from a talent perspective, from a roster perspective, Boston is the better matchup if they had a coach who could take advantage of them. But I agree with Mars. Because of coaching, they probably don't want to see Miami.
The perimeter creation of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown would put more strain on their defense.
Right.
But on the other side, I think Denver's offense would be extremely comfortable against Boston, considering how I see Joe Mazzulla switch everything, no matter how. Like, he switches the most ridiculous thing. Like, sometimes you don't need to switch, but he just be switching everything. So, and also, the way they play offense, I think Denver want teams to shoot threes instead of just living at the rim, and Boston are going to happily take those. Yeah. So, I think that also plays into their hands. So,
Mars, let me ask you a question. What does Gabe Vincent look like to y'all in the playoffs? If you're looking at Gabe Vincent, you never knew anything about him. You just watching him. Chilltown, what does he look like to you right now watching him?
If I don't know anything about him, he looks.
You don't know anything about him, Fluent. I want you to think about this now. You don't know anything about this guy. Forget all these dudes undrafted stuff. Like, forget that. You don't know anything about this guy. You're watching him right now. What's your thoughts about this guy?
He looked like he's just as good as any one of these guards in the game. Any one of these league guards in the game. Yeah, he does look like that. And just so you know, Mars, he rolled his ankle, so he's out tonight. I can't believe we actually.
That means it's going to game 6.
I can't believe we actually sitting here having a conversation about losing Gabe Vincent, tipping the scale in the Eastern Conference Championship. Like, I'm going to say it one more time for the people in the Chiefs.
You probably wouldn't have
losing Gabe Vincent can tip the scale and going to the Eastern Conference Championship.
He is a
Well,
That's 18
role player on that team.
That's 18 a game. That's out the lineup now. 18 a game. That's that they're not going to have. And we don't even know how significant this injury is. But with him,
I don't think it's that significant. I think it's cautious, like they did Jimmy when he was in New York. I think they're saying, look, we're not going to put more pressure and stress on you tonight to play. We'll let you get 3 or 4 full days of rest. And then if it goes to game 6, we'll do that. Because tonight, Jimmy could pull a virtuoso, go for 50 like he's done in the Garden before and go get it. I don't like Jimmy when he's laughing after the game when they lose because that means something coming. And I've seen this guy go into Boston, drop 50 in a game we thought he was going to lose last year and force another game. So the way his mindset is, I think he's the guy we need to watch out for tonight exclusively because I think he's the guy that's going to come set it off from jump ball. And I think everybody else will follow. I think you watch a guy like Kevin Love, championship experience on the road, probably hit a few big threes tonight. Also, Duncan Robinson, he going to get big minutes tonight. He going to get a chance to really show up on the big stage. Is he going to come out and hit 4 or 5 threes tonight? Banging. See, these are the different things. And like I said, the reason why a guy like Duncan Robinson so great, he makes the Boston Celtics defense think. Even if he ain't making shots, he make you have to adjust. He make you have to think. He make you have to play. He make you have to defend differently. If I feel like I'm gonna help, I'm like, damn, it's Duncan Robinson. If I lead this dude, he hit a 3. Man, coach is gonna be on my ass because that
what are we talking about here? Ticket and what you saying is legit, but what are we talking about here? So the Miami Heat are now down. They're second and their third leading scorer, and now they're going with Kyle Lowry, who's gonna have to play heavy minutes. Duncan Robinson, who's also gonna have to play heavy minutes. Right?
I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. Hold on, stay right there. So I don't have a problem with Duncan Robinson. He got NBA Finals experience. He was a starter on the NBA Finals team.
All of that. And guess who else was a starter on the NBA? And so was Kyle Lowry. You know who else was the NBA starter? Jason Tatum was. Jaylen Brown was. Marcus Smart was. All of these dudes were NBA starters on a finals team. All of these dudes were. And we're actually sitting here talking about a Miami Heat team that's depleted their second and third leading scorer, and they still have a shot. A wounded dog is the most dangerous, son. Yes, it is. 100% it is. I will not argue that because that is 100% fact. But that's where, let's be clear about something. A wounded dog is the most dangerous. But you know what you do with a wounded dog? You kill him. You don't let him fight back. He's already wounded. You dead him.
I'm rolling with Fluent Boy. That boy got a championship on his belt. He understands these type of games. I'm rolling with a guy like Kyle Lowry tonight to come up and give you 15 off the bench. This is just one of those nights, man. These dudes, bro, listen, that's the one thing Miami did that was great is brought on championship level dudes. Guys like who've been here, who've been in these situations, bro. I gained so much respect from Kyle Lowry for what I saw him do in Toronto. And then what I've seen him doing certain times in the playoffs this year. Remember, he won a game for them in Boston because when the team was going away, he scored like how many threes he hit Fluent in that game just to keep him in the game? I think it was game 2.
Yeah, where they could have been down like 20 and he kept hitting.
Kept hitting Fluent. And you know it. When you've been in that situation, bro, you won a championship the way they won in Toronto, bro. Bro, I don't never go against guys like that. Kyle, he looks a little more springy, a little more bouncy, more confident this year than me when I was seeing him on the court, bro. I'm telling you, Fluent, man, you sleeping on them guys, man. And as I said,
listen, I had the Heat in 6, so I'm sticking to my original prediction. Here's the thing, though, that worries me, but why they could get it in 5. They've been shooting the lights out from 3. And if you remember, I said right before game 4, how long can they keep shooting threes at this high clip? And they had a terrible game 4 shooting from 3. Can they have 2 games that bad in a row? Because if they do, we're going to see game 6. If they don't, the series is over. Like if they get back to what they've been doing the rest of the playoffs, the series is over. I don't care who's injured. It's over.
Damn. Boston in 7.
Heat in 6. I need game 6.
All I know,
game 6 and game 7.
Yeah. All I know, Mars, is if they win tonight, this thing gets real interesting. I said this to you yesterday, and I'm still standing on it. Now Gabe Vincent.
I know what you're saying, but I just feel like Miami's sitting there, and maybe it's a bad thing, but I feel like Miami's sitting back going, hey, we have a chance to beat them in Boston, but if we don't, we're going to be right. We're going to be healthy. We're going to go get home in game 6 and get it done. That might be a bad way to think about it.
Hell yeah.
But
hell yeah. Because why? Because now you got a team that's got momentum behind them.
Yeah,
they won the last 2 games, and now as confident as you were and as confident as you may look on the surface, there's a part of you that's like, man, we we had an opportunity to end this a long time ago, and these dudes still sticking around, and they still here. And the fact that they still here, this is a big problem for us. This is a huge problem for us. So we got to end this thing tonight.
Boston got a problem too.
Because the longer
Malcolm Brogdon has a torn arm. He has a ligament arm.
Yes,
so they got a problem too. That's their sixth man of the year.
Yes,
so, like I said before, and he has been, and then you got a problem too with Boston. Al Horford hasn't been consistent. So that's another thing to look at.
Well, you just mentioned a ticket, just like you talked about with championship experience with Kevin Love, him being due. Well, same thing's going on with Al Horford. At some point, he's due too.
I don't know, man.
The series goes to 7, and
don't say that shit, Ron.
Ticket. Here's my thing that I know everybody loves Jimmy. Everybody loves the underdog story of the Heat, but I think we are just really forgetting how good Boston is.
No, you forgetting how good Jimmy is, Ron.
I know.
Every time you do this to Jimmy, Ron, Jimmy come back up smiling like a cockroach you tried to take out, and he come out smiling at the end. I think Jimmy loves shit like this, bro.
I stepped on him.
Everybody's picking Boston. Everybody's picking Boston to win tonight.
I stepped on him.
This is the night Jimmy comes in and drops 50 again on these bums. I'm telling y'all this.
I stepped on him ticket. I went to go get some tissue, came back, that dude was gone.
He gone. I'm telling you, bro. He messed around tonight and dropped 50 and get the win, bro. I don't ever want to hear another word about Jimmy Butler not being a superstar and not being a top 5 player in the league right now, bro.
Ticket, you act like JT can't do that tonight too. You act like Jaylen Brown eventually isn't going to wake up.
Him and Jaylen Brown got problems. See, look, based off Jaylen Brown's game last game, Jaylen Brown's going to come back this game trying to make amends for it. That's going to get in Tatum's way. Because him and Tatum, they normally do not play at the highest level at the same time.
That's a fact. And I don't understand it.
I understand it because one is sitting back watching the other. They play that one on you go, I go basketball. Meanwhile, Miami, they spread you out and hit threes. And if you're gonna try to double down on Jimmy, Jimmy's gonna make the right read. They're gonna swing the ball, and Miami's gonna hit shots.
Well, we're gonna find out tonight, man. We're gonna find out where these dudes at tonight, because this thing about to get real interesting. I never thought that I'd be having a conversation about the losing Gabe Vincent to tip the scale of the Eastern Conference Finals. But that's what's going on right now.
With that being said,
going on right now.
With that being said, does Joe Mazzulla get fired if he loses on his home court tonight?
Yes.
I think Joe Mazzulla should get fired. I don't care what he does. I don't care if he wins a damn NBA championship.
Ticket, they screwed up. Ticket, what they did, man. Let's take what you said about Ime off the table, right? Even though he did what he did, they jumped the gun. Right? They jumped the gun and given him an extension. It's for a little bit of money, but they jumped the gun. Now the question is do they have the nuts to go hire Nick Nurse? That's the question. Do they have the nuts to go, Nick Nurse is our guy. This is the guy that's going to be the difference in getting us over the top, because we got all the ingredients. We got everything that we need to make this plate. We got the wrong chef in the kitchen. Them dudes in game 4, they played for each other. I think they're out on Mazzulla.
Chill. Do they even get the chance to get to Nick Nurse? He's in what are the 2 teams top 3 that he's in? I know it's the isn't it the Suns and the Bucks?
I think he wants that Boston job, to be honest.
You think so?
I think he wants that Boston job, to be honest with you. I know that I think he interviewed for the Bucks job. The Philadelphia job, I think that's Monty Williams' job. I think that's his job. If I see Doc, if I see Doc Rivers' name come up one more time, I see Doc Rivers' name come up one more time, man, I swear I'm gonna crash my car into a telephone pole. I can't handle it.
That's an all-time great coach.
I can't handle it.
Hey, hold on, but see, this is something that y'all need to think about. You guys come up here and dog Doc Rivers, but them people in them offices, they love Doc. It's something about Doc.
What is it?
Because they know that Doc Rivers brings a good.
You know why they love they don't love Doc. What NBA execs and owners and GMs love is a guy who has an NBA championship ring on, and they like to recycle old coaches that they know what they're going to get. Because if they go with someone young or someone who doesn't have experience, they don't know what they're getting. They might get a genius, they might get a dud. With Doc Rivers,
like Joe Mazzulla,
who's going to go to the playoffs. I have a guy. Yeah, exactly. I know. I'm going
to. Hey, hold on. So hold on, Fluent. So you think? Hold on. So Fluent. If Doc Rivers was coaching this Celtics team, which could happen. Brad Stevens could bring Doc back. So if he was coaching this Celtics team, you think he would fumble this Celtics team?
Yes.
Why? He's fumbled every
Damn
game.
lie. You a damn lie. You a damn lie.
Him, Boston in 5. Boston in 5.
You a damn lie, man.
Yes.
Y'all some cold-blooded haters, man.
What have you seen from him that makes you think that he's not going to fumble? That's what he does.
He would be in the same situation as Joe Mazzulla right now.
Okay, he's better than Joe Mazzulla.
He'd be down 3-1.
Yeah.
Oh, he definitely doing. He definitely fumbling it if he down 3-1. We already know what that is.
I don't even know if he beats Philly. Down 3-2. He was down 3-2. I don't know if he wins that series.
Philly. You're right.
With James Harden, man, come on, man.
I don't know if he beats him.
Down 3-2. Down 3-2. And Philly's got another coach and Boston has Doc. That series is over. Philly wins.
No, they out. They out. I'm good, Ticket.
And then we're talking about how Doc got fired from Boston and who's going to replace Doc in Boston. That's the conversation.
That's exactly what's going to be going on. Ticket. What Ticket? I understand how you feel about Doc with the way he can X and O at a timeout.
He's good.
I understand.
He's not great. That's all.
It's not even that. I think the logic is more putting the onus on more of the players. You got the league MVP in Joel Embiid. You got James Harden, who I told you guys about. Right? So you got guys like that, and they should be better. However, it's not a coincidence that this happens with Doc Rivers at the helm. It's not a coincidence that this continues to happen with him. It's not like this is happening with him in this one particular situation, and it's an aberration. No, this is constantly going on with Doc Rivers.
Y'all just some haters, man. That's all there is to it.
No, we're not.
Y'all don't like the man. For some reason, y'all don't like dude. And it is what it is.
He keeps losing when he should be winning. That's why.
When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
Believe them.
All right. I guarantee you he would have got this Celtics team back to the finals.
You can't guarantee that. It's your opinion, and that's cool, but you can't guarantee it because it'll never happen. It's easy to say that.
Yo, Ticket, can we play a little game?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna ask you. Let's play a game called "What Would Doc Do?" So I'm gonna just run down these playoff teams, and you just let me know what they would have did in the playoffs with Doc.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna start right now with the easiest team, Denver Nuggets. What do they do with Doc?
Same thing they're doing right now.
Okay. The Phoenix Suns.
With Doc, they did the same thing they did.
Okay. The Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, with the Lakers? Oh, this series still be going on right now. This will be a tie series.
And what does it turn into?
No, well, it all depends on damn. It would be a tie. The reason why I say it would be a tie series because of this. The one thing we know about Doc is when he went to Philly, he made Joel Embiid the MVP. So Doc would have definitely have pressed the issue on AD more, being more dominant, getting him the ball more, calling more sets for AD. He'd have put the ball in AD's hand a lot more and forced AD. You understand what I'm saying? To be that dude. He did it to Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid just didn't show up. The man shot what? 5 of 19 or 20 the last game? You can't do that in a closeout game. But he made sure Embiid got the ball. So what he would do is he would center the offense more so. He would have centered the offense more so around AD going against Jokic and them. You understand what I'm saying? I do think he would have did a little bit better because I don't think that in a situation like I think he also would have played Tristan Thompson earlier in the series. You understand? I think Doc also would have went a little bit deeper into that bench, just like he did back when he was with He went a little deeper into his bench. So I do think he would have went a little deeper into the bench than what Ham did early in the series.
Right.
You know, he would have refreshed guys and kept guys a little bit fresher. He does remember he's always used guys like Lou Will, Montrezl Harrell, those guys. So he would dig into that bench a little bit and use guys a little bit off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Which would kept guys fresher down the stretch. So I think that he would have, if he would have lost the series, it'd have been a more competitive series. They'd have probably lost a 6 or 7. It wouldn't have been a sweep.
You don't think they would have got swept?
It wouldn't have been a sweep. Go ahead.
Okay, I got a couple more teams. The Milwaukee Bucks.
Oh, the Bucks? Oh, shit. The Miami Heat wouldn't even be here right now. Wouldn't even be here right now. They would not be here right now. And I'm gonna say that again. They would not be here right now. Ain't nobody as incompetent as a Bucks head coach, Mike Budenholzer, bro. Nobody's that incompetent, bro, in the NBA except for him. So yes, the Milwaukee Bucks would have won that series, bro. Period, with Doc Rivers.
All right, and last but not least, Jimmy Butler and the Miami Heat with Doc Rivers coaching them. What do they do in these playoffs? They'd have probably
lost. Well, I can't say that because they would have beat what you call them because they got the coach they had, the Bucks. Then they would have beat the Knicks.
So they'd be right where they at right now.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be up 3. It wouldn't be 3-0. It wouldn't have been 3-0. It would have probably been 1-1 going back to Miami.
He would have lost the playing games.
I would have had it tied up 2-2. I would have had it with Doc. I would have had it tied. I would have had it 2-2. Oh, the play-in? The play-in?
He would have lost to Chicago and Atlanta.
No. He would have won the play-in.
They ain't even making the playoffs.
They're home. Chilling.
Nah, I disagree. No. Time out. That's a lie. Because Doc Rivers always get his team in the playoffs, so that's a lie.
Nah, he would have lost. He ain't
No. I'm saying if Doc was coaching Miami,
they would have lost.
If Doc, hold on, you're not hearing me. But no, you're not hearing me. If Doc was coaching Miami, Doc was coaching Miami, they would have been in the playoffs. They wouldn't have had to been in the play-in to fight for the playoffs.
They would have been the top 6.
Always.
You think they would have been the top 6?
Yeah, they'd have been 6. They would have been in the playoffs.
Doc is a better coach than Spo.
No, he's not saying.
I ain't saying that. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Doc would have pulled different strings. They would have been in the playoffs. Listen, you tell what Doc Rivers team you seen that wasn't in the playoffs?
Bickerstaff ain't don't do that. Bickerstaff ain't a better coach than Spo, and the Cleveland
Cavaliers. I'm asking you a question though. I said, hold on. I asked you a question though. I said, y'all some haters, Fluent.
No, I'm asking you a question. We're using the exact same team. The only difference is Spo and Doc. Spo had to win against Chicago for the play-in to be the 8th.
I'm not saying that. Fluent.
He wouldn't have been in the play-in. So you're saying
Fluent. Stop doing that, Fluent. You're Fluent. You're a sad bro. Stop doing that. I'm saying that, Fluent. I'm saying that without from Doc coaching from the beginning, they would have been a top 6 seed.
So he's a better coach than Spo.
No, bro, you worse than Mark. Hold on, man. Hey, listen, man.
Wait, I don't know. Wait, hold on. Wait a minute, Tone. Let me make sure I'm understanding. Hold on, Tone. So who is Doc coaching?
Hold on,
Doc is coaching the Miami Heat.
Miami. That's what he
would and they would have been a top 6 seed.
Right, they'd have been where Brooklyn was at.
With Doc,
they would have been where Brooklyn was at.
Only difference.
They would have been where Brooklyn was at.
So is it not safe to say then? So Doc is a better coach than Spo?
No, I'm just saying he would have pulled different. He would have pulled different. Because listen, they only missed that by like 1 game. They only missed the 16 by like 1 game.
How he's not a better coach than if he has the exact same team and has a better record.
Even if you got the same coach, Tone, even if you got the same team, and the same players, does not mean that you're and you do not a slightly better job. Does not mean that you're a better coach. Because again, if you take Bickerstaff off that Cleveland team and you put Doc on that Cleveland team, you think they still a top 5 team?
No.
Man, y'all sad, man. Mars, man. All right, man.
Hell yeah, they still a top 5 team.
Hey, Doc, man. Doc, I don't try to do everything.
They'll be battling with Atlanta. They'll be battling with Atlanta.
People are disrespectful, man.
Question, Jay. Let me ask Jay the exact same question. So Jay, 2 exact same teams. Forget the names. 2 exact same teams. Coach A leads them to 30 wins. In the exact same season against the same opponents in an alternate universe, Coach B leads them to 50 wins. Who's the better coach? Exact same team playing against the exact same players, but has more wins. Who are you going to say is the better coach?
Bro.
The guy that won 30 or the guy that won
that's a 20-win difference. We're
hold on, let me ask you a question. Who was a better coach in the coach in the bubble? Frank Vogel or the coach of the Miami Heat?
Spo.
Right. Hold on.
When I think about these two, right, but when I think about these 2 teams, Tone, I'm thinking about how different the variables are. So we're talking about the Miami Heat and we're talking about the Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, they weren't that far away. And when I mean they weren't that far away, I'm also thinking about the Miami Heat, who I think they were a game out of being in the 6th spot. A game out of being in the 6th spot. So if Doc Rivers is coaching that team, that if they win 2 extra games, that doesn't mean that he a better coach than Spo. That does not mean that. If they win 2 extra games and they're the 5th seed or they're the 6th seed, that does not mean that. No.
All right. So if 2 different coaches have the exact same team playing the exact same opponents and one wins more games and the other doesn't necessarily make the guy who won more games.
Not 1 or 2 more games, Tone. If we're talking about a 15, 20 game difference, now that's something different. But 1 or 2 games, no.
Am I crazy?
No.
Because I feel like
not 1 or 2 games, Tone.
You have a better coach. If you do better with the exact same team against the exact same opponents, you're better.
Well, wait a minute, Tony, because a bunch of other different things can happen. Because again, at the end of games, absolutely. Okay, so hold on for a second. How about we talking about the Milwaukee Bucks in the Miami Heat? You think that was coaching at the end of the game when they played against them in Game 4 when Jimmy Butler had 50? You basketball, get out the way. That ain't coaching.
Yeah, that was Bud's terrible defense.
Yeah, he got the best defense. He got the best perimeter defender in the league on his team, getting scorched.
So
because he's still playing a deep drop with Brook Lopez.
Production doesn't matter.
Coaching could have mitigated that a little bit, or at least we could have tried something. But Bud doesn't do that.
Well, coaching can mitigate that.
The play-in. I mean, loses in the play-in. That's all I know. So there's that. He ain't beating Atlanta and Chicago.
He's a better coach. He leads them to a better record, but not really.
Impossible. He loses to Jamal Murray. That's how it is.
So a worse coach would lead this team to a better record. That makes sense somehow.
Not with 2 games, Tone. Not with 1 or 2 games. That's not the logic. Again, we're talking about a 10, 15 game separation. That's completely different. But we're talking about 1 or 2 games you won by. You're a better coach. No.
Where did Miami finish? What did they finish with? 44?
Something like that.
40 wins. And what was 6th place? 47, 48?
I think Brooklyn had 1 more win. I think.
One more win?
I think they had the tiebreaker, so you'd have to win more games than them to be the 6th seed. So you'd have to
I have a hard time agreeing with a worse coach. We all agree Doc is a worse coach than Spo. A worse coach making a team better, meaning winning more games. That's what you're saying.
I think that the word worse. How about not as good?
Okay.
Okay. How about we go with that?
Coach is not as good.
Okay. Because worse sound like you garbage.
Okay. It's hard for me to grasp that a coach that's not as good could lead the exact same team against the exact same opponents to even 1 more win if he's not as good. But okay.
Man, y'all imagine Mars having a clipboard. Y'all imagine Mars having a clipboard on the sideline of the Milwaukee Bucks with Bud, coaching with Bud as an assistant coach. And Mars telling Bud, hey, you got to drop here. You got to do this. You got to do that. You can't do this. You can't do that. I can just picture you doing that type of shit.
Mars, you'll get Bud right?
I'll do something better than what he did.
Mars, so you sincerely believe
all Bud did was sit there and do nothing. I can do more than that.
I could see Mars being the Wonder Kid. Do you guys watch Ted Lasso? You the
Wonder Kid.
Mars the Wonder Kid. Mars.
All I have to do is something, and that's more than Bud. I can do that.
Something is better than nothing.
Ron, I told you already. It was Drago and Apollo Creed, and he kept watching his man get the hell beat out of him, and he wouldn't stop the fight. You just gonna let him keep beating on him. You let him do anything.
Man. Hey, man, how bad is the Pistons down there? Monty Williams turned down big money to take that job.
No, I'm good.
Crazy, bro.
How bad is the Pistons that they promoted Dwayne Casey and he's calling up the Raptors asking if he could have his old job back?
Chicken. All money ain't good money, brother. Just because.
Hold on. No. Y'all got to think about it though.
No.
I don't think
all
the
money's
Pistons.
Good money.
I don't think the Pistons. I'm kind of fluent on this, but I don't think the Pistons' job is too bad. Looking into the future, Mars. Looking into the future. Maybe actually, right now it's bad, but 3-4 years from now, I don't think that'd be a bad job. You have Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey. You got a couple young good bigs.
One good young big. One.
Yeah. What's that guy from Golden State? He's fire.
Who, Marvin Bagley?
I'm about to
the other one.
You said Marvin Bagley, and it reminded me of something. I don't know if we have something to talk about, but I got my son Fluent Jr. attempted his first troll job. Do you guys want to hear it?
Yeah, let's do it.
Troll alert.
Number 1, Tony Snell. Tony Snell? Yeah, Tony Snell. Okay. Yeah. Number 2, Moxie Wolves. Number 3, Marvin Bagley.
Troll alert. Troll alert!
Top 5 players all time.
Troll alert!
Tristan Thompson up there. He got Tristan Kardashian up there.
Well, this is what you call him.
Hello. Hey, hold on.
He get it from his pops because his pops are
Hey,
trolling.
you said, hold on. Hey, Tom, you said something about the Raptors.
I killed myself. He said Marvin Bagley.
No, you said something about the Raptors job, but I heard they're trying to hire Steve Nash.
Actually, like to be honest with you,
Hey, y'all want to talk about bad coaches? Y'all want to talk about coaches? Y'all can hire Steve Nash, bro. Cut it out.
I like Steve Nash, but if they hire Steve Nash, I'm gonna move so that Toronto's no longer my home team.
Steve Nash is better than Doc Rivers.
I actually like Steve Nash in Detroit, to be honest with you. With Cade Cunningham, them speeding up the game.
Oh no! You're
not feeling that.
Steve Nash should not be a coach in the NBA again. He had his chance.
Mars, you don't believe in second chances? You don't believe in people being reformed, Mars? You don't believe in learning from your mistakes?
On that mess. You can't that's not fair to judge him on that mess.
I judge him on that mess.
Like judging a football coach coaching the Cleveland Browns. Like it's not fair. Like
I don't know what that means, but I judge him.
Who's the worst football team?
In the Manchester United, Liverpool. Who's garbage in the Premier League?
Okay, so it's like saying someone managing Tottenham. It's not their fault.
Tottenham. He managing Tottenham, and that's what we're going off of. What he did at Tottenham.
You can't judge him off that.
But I can. He's still trash.
Can't do
I'm not subjecting Cade and Jalen Duren to Steve Nash because that'll ruin their career.
So who's the best coach for them at the moment?
Well, we already know that it's not Monty Williams because he was like,
I'm like, hold on. Oh, you talking about for the Raptors?
No, for Detroit.
I
think they need a young
Sam Cassell.
I like Sam Cassell.
I like Sam
Cassell. Why is Sam Cassell not a head coach?
Because man, they like to recycle these guys. Hey, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you guys one thing. Ime pulled the trigger too quick. He shouldn't have signed with Houston. Ime would be the Bucks head coach right now. He would be the Bucks head coach.
You guys don't agree with that. You guys
or
do
Philly.
not
Or Philly.
Houston is a better job than the Bucks. By
far. He's the opposite of you. Ime said all money is good money. I'm taking the first check I could get.
Ime said all money's good money, and he took that job right quick. He's like,
Houston is not a better job than Milwaukee. Are you serious?
Are you serious? It's a better job. Yes.
Based on what are you basing it on?
He's a young coach coaching a young team, and he's going to have a longer leash. Whereas with Milwaukee, one failure, and they're not going to keep him. Giannis has a winning window. You want to get the best of that. Drew Holiday's like 32. Chris Middleton's mediocre. That roster is designed to win now. If he doesn't win, Ime Udoka's on the hot seat. If he doesn't win in Houston, we got 5 years. This young
and Houston's more open to their extracurricular activities, right? So it's good.
Sure, but Houston's a better job. Easy.
I totally disagree. Hey Ron, I totally disagree. I think Ime's the right guy to go in there right now because he's a defensive style coach and push the right buttons with that team in Milwaukee, bro. I think Milwaukee does a lot of good things offensively. I do agree with Mars. They could tweak some things with offensively with Giannis. And I think Ime would do that. I think Ime's a damn good coach who's been around a lot of good championship level coaching, bro. I think he would be great for that spot. Because I think he would go in right now, immediately command the locker room. You know what I'm saying? He has a commanding presence. I think he'd get those guys playing defense on an elite level. They got the personnel. And then you can play the way he wanted to play in Boston because he has the shooters over there. He has the guys who can actually spread the floor and shoot the ball. And then he has guys, they have championship experience. So I think if he would have waited and he would have fell right into the Bucks job. We wouldn't even be waiting right now. He'd be the Bucks head coach right now.
Mars, your logic.
I just want to let you guys know when I simulate on 2K, Houston always win a chip by 2027.
Of course they do.
So that means Ime is going to win a chip.
Yeah, there you go.
It's guaranteed.
Why do we even play the games? We should just simulate.
Right.
No, that's just proven. That's just proven. Also, on the simulation, Boston made the finals this year. So.
And low, you had him somewhere. Your ass was nasty for putting Mike D'Antoni on the same coaching level as Doc Rivers. Bro, you're disgusting, bro. You need to go ahead and shut the
why are they not on the same level?
Doc has a championship.
Oh, okay. You're right.
So,
I mean, Doc
Rivers is a better coach than Don Nelson.
Hold on. But Mike, hold on. But y'all say y'all do. This is a part I got a problem with y'all. Y'all do all this slander to Doc Rivers. Mike D'Antoni, he don't get half this slander. Mike D'Antoni has coached Kobe. He's coached. No, he doesn't.
He gets
By who? By none of you guys.
I really don't hear no Mike D'Antoni.
No one up here likes D'Antoni. You don't hear Bob every time Mike D'Antoni's name gets brought up. Every time. Like,
Man, Mike D'Antoni
positive
coached Kobe, James Harden, Steve Nash, Amari Stoudemire in his prime. How many guys this guy need to coach? It failed.
He's failed. Hey, I posted
no one
Carmelo.
Ticket. I posted this for you, Ticket.
Oh man. Come on, man. Come on.
Ticket. Look.
I zoomed in.
Look. Hey, Fluid, were you able to see exactly whose stats it was?
No, it was something that they were debating against Ticket. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, we was over here. That was king of the court when he cheated me. When y'all was like, yeah, low a beast. Man, I'm over here going acapella. me and Chilltown, we going acapella against these dudes, man. Man, this dude got basketball reference the whole time.
We battle rapping Ticket. This dude over here in his rhyme book.
He don't wrote all his rhymes. He don't wrote all his rhymes. We over here freestyling. Everybody talking about
we going off the top of our head. He like, hold on for a second. Let me check my rhyme.
Just so you know, it's already at like 10K on TikTok. Everyone's gonna know.
I knew something was wrong with him when he knew about that subject too easy. I was like, how you know all these cats that easy like that? Who had basketball reference right in front of him, bro? And people cheering him on in the crowd, like, yeah, man, Low cooking, he knowledgeable. Yeah, he knowledgeable with that computer in front of his face. Tell Low I said put that computer down and bring his ass. He'll never see me one-on-one.
That's why Low not pulling up the PC weekend. Because we not providing laptops and computers and all the extra gadgets.
Wait, you're not providing laptops and computers?
Nope.
No.
Can I get a cell phone?
Nope.
Mars, don't bring no notes. Just bring your basketball mind.
Hey, and one last thing, Ron, before you go. Low, all this investment that you have put into Jokic, if he does not finish the deal, bro, sir, Low need to be put on punishment, Ron. He need to be banned for all this Jokic capping he been doing. If Jokic don't win this championship, bro, I'm just saying, bro. All this shit Mike Malone's talking, I don't want to hear no more.
Denver's.
Would you say the same thing if Jimmy Butler doesn't win this championship?
No, but listen, I'm saying with all the shit Mike Malone is talking. Mike Malone out here talking big boy shit. Mike Malone is talking hellified, like, you gonna respect us, respect them. Y'all ain't won no chip yet. Get the job done first, and then you'll get your proper respect.
So his question was, does Jimmy get respect? He never won a chip.
No, hold on. Jimmy gets respect, but he don't get respect to the level of if he would have won a chip.
Right.
The thing with Jokic is Jokic a two-time MVP. That Low is out here. Like I said, Low has been absolutely just caressing this dude and serenading this guy as if this dude is on the level of Tim Duncan and all these all-time greats.
Offensively, right? I can see it offensively.
But he hasn't won anything, though. Hold on. So we can say the same thing about guys like T-Mac. Everybody say, oh, T-Mac's close to Kobe. No, he's not.
T-Mac never did. What is he in, year 7 or year 8? This is year 8?
Joker?
Yeah.
This is year 9.
His first season he played was 2015-16. So
it's not
15, 16, 16, 17, 17, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22, year 8.
So he's in year 8. Okay. So he's right in line with some of the greatest of all time.
He's going to have a longevity to have.
7, LeBron won in year 9.
Jokic will only play 13 years, 14 max.
What?
So he only has 6 years left.
Bro, I keep trying to tell you. Hold on. Y'all don't see Jokic's body type, bro? He ain't finna be effective that long. Listen, Jokic 2 more years at this level. And watch, I promise y'all this. He's going to fall off. His body type built like he's nowhere near the same, bro.
You think he's going to finish? You think he's going to
Well, let's just say that that's true. Well, let's just say that that's true that he fell off 2 years from now. That'd be 7 years that he was awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be 7 years because he's been awesome for the last 5 years.
Yeah, hold on. But if he don't win a chip, then he's Patrick Ewing, nigga.
Now, right. Now,
what's wrong with being Patrick Ewing?
Now we nothing wrong with being Ewing. Nothing wrong with being Ewing. But
no. I'm saying no. Low is talking all time like elite, better, best of the best. The creme de la creme. Yeah, you ain't doing that. You ain't getting by like that. You gotta win. You gotta not only win.
He has to win a chip to be in that conversation, but I'm telling you, he's already better than Bill Walton.
Bill Walton has a chip.
Are you sure?
I don't care
Bill
if he
Walton
has a
catches
chip.
the straight
He has
every
2
week from
chips.
Floyd.
He has 2 rings.
But I'm saying, but do you not, you know how cold Bill Walton was,
That
right?
doesn't count.
Yeah,
Say what?
But
Speaking
he
of
is-
this-
he-
and
he-
this
he-
is
he-
the
Speaking of the
reason
devil,
why-
speaking of the
Bring it
devil,
up, man.
speaking of the
Bring it
devil,
up, Flo. Bring it.
I had to be on my second account on my other computer, but this is the shenanigans that I be talking about when it comes to
What's
Jokic.
the
Is that the other computer? Is that the one that you check your stats on?
Oh my
Yeah.
god!
you on your ass, Lo. You on your ass, Lo.
The
Lo,
reason
I don't believe it. I'm up here trying to defend you, but
Yeah, it's fake. It's fake.
It's evidence against
not
you.
fake.
Conclusive
The
evidence.
reason why-
Yo, straight up me and Lo conspired.
Lo, if I'm on the jury, Lo, you going to the penitentiary, bitch.
Oh my goodness!
Lo, the DNA is 100% matched. It's
100%, B.
The
You going to the
reason
penitentiary.
why I speak so highly about Jokic, not only because he's a great player, but because the things that people have said in the NBA community about him over the past 2 to 3 years is just inconsistent nonsense that never adds up. It never ever adds up. First
Such
and foremost, I've never said for it. Well, that now ticket for whatever. I've never in my life heard somebody predict while in the middle of going on a finals run. I'm now going to project how long he's going to be dominant, and it's only going to be for 2 more seasons. I've never in my life seen somebody win 2 MVPs and claim that Devin Booker was better than him. Not saying y'all said these are things that I'm in the middle of making a video and just like things that people have said.
Right.
I've never heard anybody say this is the worst MVP I've ever seen in my life in 35 years.
I have heard that.
I've said that before, but someone else.
I've heard that. I have heard that.
His hair is red.
I've never heard somebody say Giannis is a better offensive player.
I did.
I've never heard somebody say the reason why he's not that good is because when I go watch him, he doesn't have that type of aura. I've never heard like these are all things that it's one thing to not report about Jokic or talk about him. It's another thing to while he is in the middle of playing at an all-time high to then knock him down as if like he's ever had a fair opportunity to win while in his prime because his two best players have been injured. These are things that it just doesn't make any sense.
So now that's going on, Lo.
Any sense.
Now that's going on, Lo. Now he's got Jamal Murray healthy. Now he's got MPJ healthy.
He made it to the finals.
Yes. And
don't do that. Don't do that. Hey, Chill Town, time out. Don't do that. Chill Town. Let me ask you a question. Fluent. Who did Hakeem beat when he went to the finals? When he was clearly the number 1 guy and the number 2 guy was so far away. Who did he beat on his way in the Western Conference?
So which year are we talking about? So
the year without Clyde. It would have to be the year without Clyde.
So the year without Clyde, Seattle ended up getting bounced in the first round. They lost to Denver. So they beat Utah in the Western Conference Championship. They beat Phoenix.
Portland first.
Yeah, they beat Portland first. They beat Phoenix, who they were down 3-1, and then they smoked Utah, and I believe they beat them 4-1.
4-1, yeah.
They smoked Utah, and then they ended up beating
the Knicks in the finals.
The Knicks in the finals
in 7.
Right. So hold on. So
they were down in that series too. By the way, they were down.
Hakeem did all that, and his second best player was so far away from him. But we talking about a dude in Jokic, who the only time this dude can get to the Western Conference Finals or passed around is when he got Jamal Murray.
As I'll say this again because Ticket loves to put things in my mouth. Pause.
Focus low.
Ticket loves to say things as if like I've ever said them. I've never ever said that Jokic is better than Hakeem. Matter of fact, I've gone as far as to say is that there's nothing that Jokic can accomplish that will make him better than Hakeem because as a player alone, he's nowhere near as close as Hakeem. I've said that several times.
So let's get to the bottom of that right now. Let's get to the bottom of that right now.
Can I just say something?
No, he's not. He's not as good. He can never be a top 5 player all time. I don't think he'd be a top 7 player of all time. No.
I'm asking you a question though. Dude, hold on, Lo. Let me ask you this question, Lo. Does Tim Duncan advance with the same Nuggets team without Jamal Murray those years that Jokic lost?
To the what? To the finals?
No, to the second round.
Probably so. I don't know.
Jokic made the second round in 2021.
No, I'm saying, but I'm talking about
the conference finals.
I'm asking him.
He said to the
No, I'm asking him. Does in the same years that without Jamal Murray, does Tim Duncan with the same team advance? A prime Tim Duncan.
Jokic made the second round one of those years. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm saying I'm saying advance
to the conference finals.
No, advance farther than what Jokic did in those years without Jamal Murray.
Maybe I don't know.
Okay, so hold on. So that's one guy, right? So then
These are
you
all
obviously
things
gonna say, hold on.
Let me say it again because you're not listening to me. I just sat there and said that Jokic can
I'm
never
with
be a
you. No,
top 7
I'm with
player.
you. No, I'm just asking you this. So that's one guy. Hakeem is another guy.
Two people
Shaquille O'Neal in his prime. Shaquille O'Neal in his prime.
Why
Hold on,
why would Shaquille O'Neal be able to do it in his prime when he was never able to go that deep without?
If he was in my nigga, I'm talking about he would have been able to advance farther than him.
Why?
Nigga, he was the most dominant player on earth.
So why wasn't he doing it until Kobe
Oh,
started?
this man, right? Hey, hold on, low. So let me be real with you.
Why wasn't he able to do it until Kobe started to ascend?
Well, no, I'm gonna get at your ass right now. Let me be real with you and tell you why I feel that way.
Answer that question.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. Hold on. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Why didn't he do it until Kobe started ascending?
No, I know. I'm finna tell you right now. Hold on, I'm finna tell your ass right now. So since you all on Jokic, first of all, a prime Shaq would have eviscerated Jokic. We wouldn't even be talking about Jokic if he played that. If he played that,
asked me. That's not the question you asked me.
My point to you is he ain't as good as you say he is. He only looks that good because he's playing against these mugs, man. Cut it out, bro.
So you're still chatting again. So
when you line him up against, hold on. I'm saying that to you. I'm saying that to you because you disingenuous, nigga. Because what you do is you'll sit up here and denigrate Jamal Murray like I got your ass on tape doing the other day. But Jamal Murray playing on the toughest matchups. Outside of AD for the last 4 or 5 years until he played AD in a bubble, he have had all overly favorable matchups.
So I'll ask I'll ask the question again. Why wasn't Shaq able to go deep into the playoffs until Kobe started ascending? Why?
I said he would have went further than which he went to the Western Conference Finals.
When? He got swept by the which guy?
He still went to the West Finals when Kobe was on the bench, nigga.
Got swept by Utah.
Won as many games in the conference finals as Jokic.
He got swept. Okay, he got swept. Okay, all right, cool. Long story short,
So hold on. So here's my point, Lo. Here's my point, Ron. I want everybody to understand why I say this about Jokic. Lo puts Jokic on an all-time level, right? Now I'm looking at all the guys. Jokic got like 3 or 4 guys he's playing against. But when I line him up against the greatest big man ever, he ain't even, to me, he ain't in top 10. Who did
Shaq have to go up against in '98 to get to the conference finals? What big men did he have to face?
But I'm talking about all through his career.
What big men did he have to face?
Who did they have to beat?
I'm talking about all throughout his career.
In '98, who did he have to face to get to the conference finals?
We know Shaq played way more.
That's not what I asked you. In '98, who did he have to face?
So they beat Seattle in the first round. Seattle was the number 1 seed.
Wasn't it Portland? And then Seattle.
They beat Portland. They beat Portland in the first.
So
round.
That's Arvydas Sabonis.
So that's Arvydas Sabonis, and then they beat Seattle, who had Sean Kemp and who did they have in the front line?
I don't even think Kemp was on the team anymore.
No, Portland.
Sean Kemp and Vin Baker. Was it Vin Baker?
Kemp was already gone in '98. He was in Cleveland.
It was Vin Baker.
Hold on. I'm trying to think. Hold on.
So,
but that logic doesn't work. But that logic doesn't work though, Lo, because then if you're going to talk about,
I agree, it doesn't work. This is Ticket's logic. If you're going to be overly critical on who,
because when they played Utah, I mean, Utah had Felton Spence. I mean, Greg Ostertag.
I agree. That's why I think it's faulty logic, but this is the logic that Ticket wants.
Hold on. So my point is this: over his career in the playoffs, Shaq played way better big man competition than Jokic did. So did all the other greats that came in Shaq's era. All I'm saying is this.
That 98, for that 98 one, just so you know, yes, Arvydas Sabonis, Rasheed Wallace, and Brian Grant were also in that starting lineup. In the second series against Seattle, the starting center was Sam Perkins for 1 game, Jim McElvain for 4 of those games. So
Jim McElvain, they paid him $33 million. That's right.
A very good center.
Yeah, John McElvain, Jim McElvain. And then he had to go against Ostertag in the West Finals.
In the West.
And the Jazz smoked him.
Shout out to Greg Ostertag.
Shout out to
underrated.
No, but hold on. My overall point is this: Lo is grading this dude at the highest level on a different scale than what the great centers had to. Most of the great big men that we talk about, they're all bunched up. Pretty much of them lined up in the same era, or they played each other. Duncan, Robinson, Hakeem.
Utah actually started Greg Foster that series. Ostertag came off the bench.
Man,
Unlucky Ostertag.
Hakeem. Hold on, Hakeem. Shaq, all of these dudes, most of those dudes, Ewing, Mourning, all these dudes was lined up against each other. I'm saying Lowe is praising this dude at an all-time level. He ain't having to go through no dudes like that to where we can really see how.
The only thing you can really do, though, here's the one part of this that I do agree with. I think it's too early. You know how I feel about rating active guys on all-time lists. I don't like it. I don't do it. I want to wait until they're at least done or close to the end. But that being said, you can only look at how a guy dominates his era because anything else is hypothetical. So is Jokic dominating his era more or less than Shaq or Hakeem?
Well, no, he's dominating less. Shaq eviscerated his era, bro. It wasn't even funny.
Okay,
forget all this.
So if we're talking about a guy like, for example, Hakeem Olajuwon, just like Joker's in year 8. So Olajuwon by year 8 in 1992, was he at the same level as Joker? Yes, he's actually better. Ewing he came in 1985. 1993, was he doing what Joker was doing by that point? I mean, Ewing did finish. I think he was playing at an MVP level at that point. David Robinson came in 89. From 89 to 90,
definitely.
From 97 by 97. I mean, he had already won the defensive player of the year. He had already been the league
MVP.
He's gone through his whole prime at that point.
He had already done all of that stuff. Shaq, by year 8, it was 2000. That was the year he won the league MVP. So when you're talking about these bigger guys, that the all-time greats, same thing with Alonzo Mourning. Alonzo Mourning by year 8, that was in 2000. I mean, he was the defensive player of the year. He was playing at an MVP level. But when I'm thinking about Joker, as good as Joker is, I can't talk about him like I talk about those dudes simply because when I think about those dudes and what they did, Joker's still working on that.
Thank you.
Joker's still working. Joker's still working on that. That's not to say that. And what I think the issue that my issue with Lowe's logic, which is legit, but my issue is it's a little premature because Lowe will bring up how great Joker is as an offensive player, which I will not fight that because as an offensive player, he is fantastic. But I can't.
But it's fine.
Right, but what I can't do, I can't fight it because watching him. But what I can't do is I can't talk about him like I talk about those other dudes until I see him do what those other dudes did for the course of time that they did it.
That's what we just.
And I always tell people this: Dwight Howard is the poster boy for waiting, because when his first few years, we were all saying this is going to be the greatest center of all time. But now you look back at his career, and no one says that. No one says that, right?
Wait,
so that's all I say is just praise him for what he's doing. But when you want to put him, anyone, this isn't just Jokic,
because Fluent.
All-time conversation, we just got to hold off a little bit. Just
Fluent. If you go Fluent, because what do you think, Fluent? What do you think, Mark? What do you guys think if he goes to the finals against Smoke? What do you think if he goes to the finals against Smoke?
I don't care.
That's the problem. He don't care. That's my problem. He don't care.
I think
Mars, when you talk about him peaking, Mars,
hold on, low. Is this not? This isn't an all-time conversation.
No.
Well, not only that, not only that, Mars. Low. That logic doesn't work because if he gets smoked,
it's never been. Where does he rank amongst all-time greats? And even
Dude just was saying that.
And when it comes up to all-time greats, I've openly acknowledged that he will never be as good as Hakeem. Right. He will never be as good as Kareem. There's a set of players that
we've already established that.
I don't know why you keep bringing up Hakeem.
No, what tier is he in, Lo?
But the argument that I'm saying is solely about him offensively. Reggie Miller he's never had to win a championship. He never had to make deep postseason runs. If you want to make the argument about who is the greatest shooters of all time, there's no way in your mind you need to see Reggie Miller make a deep postseason run for you to make the argument that he's one of the greatest shooters of all time. That doesn't make any sense. Like that's my point.
Man, that nigga ain't no greatest. Nigga, you said his peak was better than Kobe's. Nigga, that's cap.
Well, two things, Lo. Number one, Reggie Miller's a bad example because they were he did make deep runs in the postseason. So Reggie Miller is
chill. Did you need to see him make a conference finals to know that Reggie Miller was one of the greatest shooters you've ever seen?
It enhanced it. Let me just say that. Him going deep,
to see him do it
enhanced it.
Did you need to see him do it to make sure that he was one of the greatest shooters you've ever seen? Did you need to see him do it?
So low. Your
then
point.
we
Your
just view
point is. Your
basketball
point is.
completely
Your
different.
point is. You're trying to appreciate Jokic's offensive game, saying how wonderful it is, and what his
Right.
team success does isn't relevant to how great he is on the offensive end. Is that
At
what I'm
all.
understanding?
Yes.
Okay, I'm good with that.
And
Nah,
I
he
know
no.
you all- and I-
Are you
and I
good? Are you
know-
good with him saying?
And I know
He said
you all view that, and this. I hate to keep going back to this, but I know you all view that because again, there's players who have more accolades than John Stockton. But if I ask you who's the second greatest passer, you will say John Stockton. So the point I'm making is that for whatever reason, with other players, you all can acknowledge their skill set, what they bring to the table, who they are as players, without them having the same level of success as someone else, which is fine. That is completely fine.
So
That makes
Jokic,
sense.
hold on. Jokic is a better offensive player in your mind. He's a better offensive player in your mind with better than Kevin McHale.
Oh my God. Yes, he's a better offensive player.
Overall offensive player, yes.
Now what I don't want, Lo, is what I don't want is it doesn't matter if they lose in the NBA Finals. Okay, I can appreciate.
No. In this conversation that we're having, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Now, if you want to talk about all-time great conversations,
I'm not even on that. I want to take that off.
You agree with Lowe say? You agree with Lowe say he got a better peak than Kobe? You agree with Lowe say he got a better offensive peak than Kobe Bryant?
Again, as I was saying, Lo,
No.
Wait a minute. So, Lo, the point that I was making with you, like you said, it doesn't matter whether or not they win the NBA championship in terms of how you feel about him offensive game. That doesn't matter. However, what can't happen is if they do win it, now we're going to turn this into a different conversation about him. Now it matters. About how you feel about him.
Offensively, no, it's not going to change.
Let me ask you this.
So it's not going to change, but it is going to matter how he is, or how he's going to be viewed all time. So now that's going to change.
As a player, as an offensive player.
So hold on,
to answer your question, no, I don't think that. No,
let me ask you. So because you had said yes, it enhances for Reggie Miller. So would making an NBA final make Steve Nash a better passer or shooter? In your eyes?
It would have enhanced it. And the reason why is because when you go deep into the playoffs, you're playing against better competition. Me and you've had this conversation in the past.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
That's not always. That's not always.
When you go deeper into the playoffs, am I losing my mind that when you go deeper into the playoffs, you don't play against
in 2007, you wanted to see Steve Nash. You wanted to see Steve Nash against the Cleveland Cavaliers in 07. To cement him, even though he played the Spurs in the conference final.
He played the Spurs. So in 2007,
he did play the better team earlier on, and he lost.
And he beat the better team earlier, 100%. But he still was going deep into the playoffs, playing a better team.
But if he played the Cavs in the finals, what's that doing for you? It's the Cavs.
It is the Cavs, and it's in the finals on a bigger stage.
On a bigger stage, sure, but you're not playing against a better team.
It's a bigger stage. Don't say it's better competition.
It's not against the better. The Cavs are not a better team than the Spurs.
But it is leading up to that. That's the point that I'm making.
Yeah, but he played the Spurs in the conference final, so you saw him against the best competition.
I did see him, right, and that's the point that I'm making with Tone. That the deeper you go into the playoffs, the better the teams are. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, it is, Lo. Yes, it is, Lo, because in
2007, the best competition that anybody could have faced was the Spurs, and he faced it in the West.
Right.
If he had gone deeper, he would have faced worse competition because the Cavs were worse than the Spurs.
The Cavs were worse that 1 year, that one team, right? But everybody else getting up to the Spurs, if the competition had gotten better. The competition had gotten better from the first round to the semifinals. The competition had gotten better. The competition had gotten better from the conference semifinals to the conference finals. Yeah. That's the point. So Steve Nash going deep into the playoffs, absolutely, it would have enhanced it.
But what would going to the finals have done? That was the question.
That 1 year. So how about that was his best shot. That was the best shot. Okay, so even if that's his best shot, let's just take it a year later. What if he plays the Boston Celtics and he does the same thing?
That would have moved me.
And then the next year,
I don't think the Suns had a chance in 2008.
I just don't see how it changes their skill set.
Yeah, the Suns were just the worst.
That's my point. And I want to be clear as well. He played in 2007. He faced the Spurs in the second round. So that means in the conference finals, he would have went up against the Utah Jazz, and in the finals, he would have went up against the Cavs.
2007.
So in 2007, the best team that he could have matched up against was in the second round. So you saw him go up against the best team in the NBA in the second round, and it would have gotten worse. It would have got worse as he progressed.
I forgot Utah were in the conference finals.
Yes, Utah was in the conference finals because the Mavs got knocked out in the first round, and
then the Jazz played the Warriors in round 2.
Yes, in round 2.
Which is what
the Suns played the Lakers in round 1, right, and then the Spurs in round 2.
Yeah. Right. Yes. And that was the same year that Dallas got bounced in round 1, the number 1 seed. Right. With that being said, that's one instance though. That's one instance, which I can appreciate that. That's
the next year he beat the Spurs in round 1.
Well, in 2008.
Yeah.
Say that
the next year he played the Spurs in round 1.
And who did he play in the conference championship?
He lost.
I'm sorry. They lost. They lost.
And in 06 they lost to.
Who did they lose to?
It was to the Spurs.
They lost to Dallas in the conference championship.
I think they lost to Dallas.
No, 05 they lost to Spurs.
05 they lost to the Spurs. They lost to Dallas.
And then they lost to Dallas.
And then they lost to the Spurs in 07.
So they lose to Dallas. So they lose to Dallas, who loses to the Miami Heat, which would have been better competition. Right, so they lose to Dallas, who beat the Spurs. I'm sorry, who beat Dallas, which would have been better competition. In 2008, you said they lost to
San Antonio.
They lost to San Antonio in 2008, who got to the conference championship. Who lost to who?
The Lakers.
Right, which would have been better competition. They would have lost to them, and if they would have got to the NBA Finals, they would have possibly lost to the Boston Celtics, who was also better. Competition.
In 2005, though, they lost to the Spurs, which was the best competition.
2005.
Yes.
And they lost to them in the first round.
No,
conference finals.
Right. So when they run up on the Detroit, when they run up on the Detroit Pistons, who had an all-time great defense in 2005, that wouldn't be just as good as competition. I mean, hold on, Lo. We talking about the Detroit Pistons team. No. We talking about the Detroit Pistons team that lost in Game 7 on one possession. To the Game 7 on one possession to the San Antonio Spurs. So it's not like the margin is this. We're talking about this. We're talking about this. So I'm not going to say worse. I don't like that word worse. I'm going to say not as good.
Okay.
That's what I'm going to say. I don't like
worse the entire time. But okay, fine.
I don't like
the
worse.
Same level.
So I'm going to take words out right there. Right.
They're in the same level. Okay.
Right. I'm going to say.
The point I'm making though is that just because you go further doesn't mean by default that you're matching up against better talent.
That's one instance. That 2007. We just went over it.
Let's. Okay. But the point at the end of the day, though, the point I'm making though is that there's several times, especially in that Western Conference, where you're going to match up against like 2 of the top 3 teams in the NBA before you even get to the finals. So the point I'm making is that the assessment of who he is as a passer and playmaker should not be made because, I need to see it against the he's already played great. He was a great passer and playmaker against the Spurs. He was already a great passer and playmaker against the Mavericks. He was already a great passer and playmaker against all these teams. I need to see it against the Cavs or the Pistons for me to finally put that. Doesn't make any sense because we're just talking about sheer talent. We're just talking about sheer talents. Because again, I've asked this question several times. So you're telling me that John Stockton did not become a top 2 passer to you until 97?
Well, he was making deep playoff runs before 97.
But so was Nash. Nash was getting to the conference finals a lot of times.
Right.
But until he got to the finals. So I asked the question again. So you're telling me that John Stockton did not become a second best passer to you until 97, Chill?
It was after that, actually.
So who was it then before that?
It was Magic.
Pete Murray.
No. Who was the second?
The second best passer all time. That's a good question. Who was
Oscar Robertson.
Was it Isaiah?
Oh, Jesus.
It wasn't Jason Kidd, I can tell you that, because he had just gotten
to the Jason Kidd.
No, it wasn't Jason
Kidd. He was after Stockton.
Yeah, it wasn't Jason Kidd.
Same time a little bit.
I think it was Isaiah.
Isaiah was the second best passer of all time.
I think it was Isaiah at that point. Now that I think about it. Yeah,
the league did not have many passes then. Jesus.
No, they had them, but just the Chills lens, you got to make the finals before I can really put you up there. I think that's wild. And Reggie Miller didn't become the second greatest shooter until 2000.
No, I didn't think that. I mean, again, we're talking about him making deep playoff runs, and it didn't take for him to be in the conference championship in year 13 for me to say that. Because he had already made deep playoff runs previous to that. Lo, you and I have already had this conversation. I care
know,
about what
that's
you
why
did.
I know, I get that, but it's inconsistent because
Why is it inconsistent? Because I've already
Steve
said that
Nash
I care about what you did. I care about who you did it against. I care about when you did it. So when I talk about when you did it, I mean, how far did you go in the playoffs and who did you go up against?
And that's all fair. But what I'm saying is, if you're saying that Steve Nash making one more round would have really moved you, I'm then asking, so you're saying it really moved you in year 13 when Reggie Miller made the NBA Finals on who he was as a shooter?
Well, I was already there. That's the thing. But for him to go a step further, it just even if it's worse, even like you guys said, if it's worse competition, it does stamp it for me because considering we got to the NBA Finals, which is a big deal. I can't discount that as one of the best. I can't discount that as one of the best players or the best player on your team to take my team to the NBA championship and perform at a high level where I'm shooting the lights out or I'm shooting great. Now, that doesn't change how I feel about you if you did it in a conference championship. I'm not going to say that, but it does change how I feel about you if you only did it in the first round. That does matter.
All right, fellas. I gotta
no, Lavoy, that doesn't make sense. No, I'm not saying that at all.
KJ, do you know what they call Tim Hortons in Canada?
Oh, I forgot.
Timmy's.
Oh my goodness.
This is about the time where I step in and I do say that the show is sponsored by none other than my good friends over at Underdog Fantasy. If you haven't yet, go to their website or download their app. What can you do there? Well, you can win up to 20 times the amount of money that you put into the app on a single night. How can you do that? I'll tell you how you can do that. They have a game called Pick'em. Yes, it's a Pick'em contest. What do? Well, you find players that play and you pick them. It could be your favorite players, your least favorite players, or random players, whoever you want. You choose their stats for the night. Could be points, rebounds, assists, or a combination of any of those. You choose anywhere from 2 to 5 players, and you either go higher on a stat or you go lower on a stat. They will match up to $100 that you put in. So if you put in 50, you'll have 100 in your account because they'll match your 50. You guys know the drill. Chat, you know the drill. You know what we're about to do. I'm going to put up a couple contests. You guys say higher or lower. And we're going with all stars tonight. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo. Why? Because, well, it's a closeout game tonight. And these guys got a ball. If they don't bring it tonight,
y'all know Gabe. Don't do Gabe
What's
Vincent. You know Gabe Vincent is out.
Yes.
He's just following the script. Boston and 7.
So what does that mean, Lo?
He's out. No, he's not playing.
No, I know. I'm saying, like, what does that mean for the game
probably
tonight?
Boston will probably win tonight.
So you guys really believe Gabe tips the scale like that, or is it the fact that
way
they
he been
lost
playing?
2 guards already?
Man, that's
The way that he
18 a
been
game.
playing?
18 a game, 50% on the long ball. The way he's been shooting the basketball, almost 60% from the floor. Man, I mean, you take that out the lineup, that's a big deal.
That means more Duncan Robinson minutes. That defense.
Jesus.
More Kyle Lowry minutes.
Boy.
Yeah, more Kyle Lowry minutes, more Duncan Robinson minutes.
Who else do they go to though? Who
The
else
players
they
we
got?
naming.
No, well, I
Duncan
know.
Robinson.
Well, they can't play 48 minutes. Who else is
Actually, they got.
I guess
Actually, they can.
Yeah,
They're about to have to.
Are they going to?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Who else
they gonna
Dudes
play?
dudes like Max
That's what I'm
Strus,
asking.
Kyle
Well, they got
Lowry,
Max Strus.
Duncan Robinson. These dudes are going to have to play heavy minutes.
already playing.
Right, no Victor.
Their depth is Max Strus, Kyle Lowry, and Duncan Robinson.
That's it.
They
No
already
Victor
lost
Oladipo. No
Yeah,
Tyler
but
Hero.
Those
They
three are
lost
gonna have to
3
combine.
guards. They lost 3 guards in one round. I mean, one run.
100
Vincent, Hero, and Oladipo. They've lost 3.
Cool thing about them though is they may just have to go big and just have Jimmy play. Play the 2.
Who do they have to go big though?
Cody's up.
Cody Zeller. Hayward Highsmith.
Hey, I was about to say this is gonna be a big Haywood Highsmith game.
He's gonna get some run tonight too. He is. He's gonna get some run tonight.
Look for a big game out of Nikola Jovic.
That's the Jokic stopper right there. That's
The wrong Jokic.
Gabe Vincent. Are you done with the ad read?
Yeah. You got it.
I didn't want to keep. Gabe Vincent last game played nearly 28 minutes, and that was with him getting pulled out because he had turned his ankle. So
Yeah.
he probably so we're really talking about basically 30 minutes that needs to be supplemented from other guards. Caleb Martin already plays 35 minutes. Max Strus already played 35 minutes. Obviously, Bam and Jimmy play more than 35 minutes. So it literally is going to have to be Kyle Lowry's going to have to go from a 27-minute guy.
Kyle Lowry's already playing 25 minutes a game in this series.
So that's going to go to 30. That's going to go to
and-
30.
That's going up 10. That has to
So
be.
And
that's
then
gonna
be
Duncan.
35.
Kevin Love might have to go to 15 from 11.
Oh boy.
So
Kevin
that's
Love and Duncan Robinson minutes. Woo.
And Duncan, yeah, it's gonna be.
yeah. Duncan is going to be the biggest one. I think he goes from 15 to 25. I think he's going to be the biggest one.
That defense, Jesus.
And then
We
Cody-
really sitting here talking about losing games.
Are we gonna see Udonis Haslem minutes?
No.
No.
Oh man.
But no, listen, you're going crazy about Gabe Vincent plays 35 minutes a game, 18 points a game, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, half a block. Like he's involved, man.
He's very much involved. We're talking
Very
about
much
Miami are about to have a 6-7 man.
He's shooting 50% from 3. Like
and
he's
58 from the floor, Tone. And that's the thing I'm talking about. So rewind the clock, Tone, back 3 months. And I told you, Tone, in the Eastern Conference Championship, losing Gabe Vincent is going to tip the scale of whether or not they win the series.
I'd
How
probably
you
say
feel about
who?
that? Right. Right. That's what we're talking about right now.
Yeah,
That's what we're talking about right now.
It's gonna be some nasty defense out there, bro.
It's basically talking about Patty Mills. Patty Mills, if that's what we would be talking about.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that because Gabe Vincent went out here putting up there in 25, 26 a game out here in the playoffs.
Gabe Vincent to this Miami team is Fred VanVleet to the Raptors championship team, an undrafted player who needed to score big shots and get them to the championship.
That's
Like,
fair.
I don't think his role's even a little bigger.
You remember what Fred VanVleet did against in that Milwaukee series? He stunk the first 2 games. They're down 0-2. They have the baby. He has a son, and then he comes missed shot.
Huge coming off the bench. He was
That's
huge.
Gabe Vincent. So he's important. Crazy.
You don't think his role's even a little bigger than Fred VanVleet?
I think it is bigger.
Keep in mind he's starting for them.
Yeah, he's starting
35 minutes. Fred had the luxury of having. Well, they both had Kyle
Fred had-
Lowry, but
Fred had
he had Kyle
Lowry,
Lowry during his All-Star
Siakam,
years.
Leonard. He had. So I'd say he's more important to this Miami team.
Wow. Wait. This last game was a. Okay, wait. Okay, so the game before that, he played 35 minutes.
Who?
Gabe Vincent.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Not the game where they lost and he had to twist his ankle. The game before that, game 3, Gabe Vincent 35 minutes, and that was in a 26-point blowout. The game before that, he was playing 40 minutes.
There you go.
40. And
He's
the game
important.
before that,
Yeah.
he's playing 36 to 37 minutes. So we're really talking about
It's like
someone who's
Celtics for 7.
borderlining. Yeah, we're talking about somebody who normally in a normal rotation is borderlining
The whole game, almost.
like almost a whole game. That's
Almost
how
the
much
whole
they're
game.
relying on him.
But I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned because you still got a guy who started in the NBA Finals over there. You still got a guy in Duncan Robinson who's looking to redeem himself, who was a starter on the NBA Finals team. So he's a guy who can also handle the big minutes. He understands what it is to be at this level, and this is a chance of redemption for him. This is a chance.
Do you think Duncan Robinson could play 35 minutes tonight? Ticket, like all jokes
Yeah,
aside.
right. And I also believe he hit 4 or 5 threes tonight. Big threes.
He
And
can.
I'm talking about
He might hit more than that if he played 35 minutes.
He needs
he's
to make
getting
up for the defense he's gonna give. He needs
Yeah,
to.
because he's gonna give up a lot of defense.
And I can tell you right now, as a perimeter player and as a guard, when I know for a fact that you can't yank me, I'm rocking because I know that I'm going to be on the floor.
Spurs gonna have to run that zone a hell of a lot to hide these guys.
But this is where y'all hold on. But this is where y'all being disingenuous. He changes. This is where y'all being disingenuous. His ability to shoot 3 from where he's able to shoot it from, and his length and his height changes and Celtics defense a little bit. It stretches him out more because he ain't just shooting from behind the line. He's shooting from 2 or 3 steps behind the line sometimes. So now, helping off him is very difficult because if Espo uses him correctly, which he's done before, and he has him coming off those screens, right? You're occupied on defense. So you're not just paying attention to Jimmy Butler tonight. And tonight's one of those nights where you might not even care about Gabe Vincent because Jimmy might go out here and hit you with a 50 ball tonight. We saw him do it last year in Boston, in TD Garden Arena, in Game 6. We saw him do it to force a Game 7. Nobody believed he could do that. And he did.
Let's use it to Game 6.
If I'm them though, everybody else got to beat me because the hot hand Gabe Vincent.
That's the problem. That's the problem. If you open the door for a guy like Duncan Robinson
Oh, I'm not
If
saying
you
it got to be
quick
Duncan.
throw
I'm not saying it has to be Duncan.
No, I'm saying, but all them, hold on, all them niggas hitting threes. Kevin Love hitting
Max
threes.
Strus isn't hitting threes like that in this series.
Man, Max
Hey,
Strus. Hey,
Low, but he not good to go off for a 4-3
Yeah,
game.
I wouldn't bet on
I'm not
Max
saying I'm leaving them butt naked open. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying
But you could though, because we've seen him go 0 for 16. So you could do that with Max Strus.
Stop
that. We saw him last year.
You're not leaving Max Strus open, Chilltown. Stop that shit, man.
We saw him not make a shot in 2 games. This is just starting 2 guard. So it's not unlikely that it won't happen. We can see him do it because we've seen him do it already.
All right, bet your money on Underdog on that.
And I will say this: if especially with us being home, if I'm Boston, somebody else, if I'm speaking for Boston,
right.
If I'm Boston, somebody else got to beat us. Like, there's just no way I'm about to go out here and allow Jimmy Butler to like single-handedly beat us.
Nobody else has been able to do it though. Nobody else has been able to do it.
I mean,
and hold on, what makes you think you trust in the Boston Celtics defense when they knew the same thing with James Harden and allowed James Harden to get them play?
I wholeheartedly.
Jalen Brown ain't been the same defensively. Jalen Brown been getting his ass toe up defensively. Same thing with Marcus Smart. Yeah. Same thing with Jason Tatum.
Oh yeah.
And Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown been running from that matchup with Jimmy Butler. They ain't been running to it. They've been running from it.
I don't know why. Well, Brown has been running from it. Tatum has been fine. I don't understand why they don't mismatch hunt in Boston. Like today, Duncan gonna have to defend me.
If I'm Tatum, go after him.
Yeah, Duncan gonna have to defend me.
Him.
He gonna have to see me on the perimeter.
Absolutely, go after him regularly too, Lo. Not we getting him in pick and switch. We getting him in pin downs. We getting him in action all night long. We are going to make him guard.
We're gonna have to convince Spo.
But that coach ain't disciplined, man. That coach got a hard head, and he want to prove. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I figured out why he doing what he doing. He doing what he doing because he wants to win his own way. He don't want to win where everybody say he did Ime's thing and won. Think about that. Because if he kept the same thing, he was on the staff that Ime did, everybody say, oh, well, you use Ime shit and won. But he's trying to do his own thing and put his own imprint on the team so that if he wins, he can say, hey, man, I did this the way I wanted to do it and we won. I didn't do what Ime did. Ime did it like this. See, that's the reason why he'll get his ass beat. Because he won't do what y'all say he should do against a guy like Jimmy. He won't do what y'all say he should do against the other guys from the Miami Heat.
All right, y'all. This is a great time for me to go ahead and jump into these super chats.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and do that. Hey, Morris, can you help me pronounce this name?
Oh Jesus.
Siabonga.
Siabonga Mafendra. Siabonga Mafendra.
Siabonga. Appreciate you. He said, in retrospect, what other choice would have been possible in LeBron's free agency in 2010 could have been viable for his legacy besides Miami?
Stay in Cleveland.
That's what
New York. New York was also the other option that he was entertaining.
Just so you know, Mark. Just so you know, Lo, they were planning. They actually during his interview when he went there, they showed him the parade route in New York City after they win the NBA championship. I mean, get the hell out of here. We ain't coming down here. You crazy.
Jaden Lies said Rontavious looking sharp. Hey, boy, you ain't lie today.
Hey,
Jaden.
Ron ready today.
Hey, I'm seeing somebody mama after this.
Hey,
moving along. TK said a Kwame Brown is cooking Shannon Sharp, Skip Bayless, and LeBron James fans on his live right now.
I jumped on it and I invited him to come on the show. He didn't respond.
I don't have no problem with that. How can a guy like Skip Bayless say anything to Kwame Brown? He never played in the league himself.
Yes.
So you gonna criticize Kwame Brown, call him a bust, but you was never good enough to play in the league yourself or any other league.
He is a bust.
Like Jalen Brown said, Jalen Rose said, you're a water pistol Pete Jr.
Okay,
so sit your ass down and shut the hell up.
Why can't he criticize Kwame Brown for being a bust?
Why are any of us?
No, you're not hearing me. You can't criticize.
None of us. Let's cancel the show.
He can't criticize Kwame Brown. No, you're not hearing me.
Kwame Brown was not
criticizing Kwame for criticizing LeBron. Hold on. I want to say this. How are you criticizing Kwame for criticizing LeBron? Well, that's all you've done your whole goddamn career, and you ain't played nowhere.
Chill.
So let me get this straight. Skip Bayless had made a career off criticizing and talking shit about LeBron. Now you gang up with Shannon Sharp and go off on Kwame Brown, who's played in the league, for criticizing LeBron James, but that's what you made your whole career off of. And you ain't even playing the league. Man, sit your ass and shut the hell up.
Chill. What's the definition of a bust?
Kwame was criticizing.
I'm gonna get to you in a second, Mars. Hold on.
Okay.
So Kwame was criticizing. What's his name? Skip Bayless for
No.
Sorry, Skip Bayless was criticizing Kwame for criticizing LeBron.
Yes.
Okay,
that
that's
makes
weird.
no sense.
Okay, that makes no sense.
That's my point. That's my whole point. He made his whole career off talking shit about LeBron James. So it's okay when you do it, but when somebody actually played in the league, whether you think he was a bust or not, even though he calls himself a bust, he don't care. But he did play in the league. Now, but you gonna get mad at him because only you can do it, huh, Skip Bayless?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
punk.
That
Go ahead, man.
makes no sense. That makes no sense. Yeah.
To answer your question, Mars, an example of a bust would be Anthony Bennett.
Yes, 100%.
I think he's a bust. So a guy like Kwame Brown, who came into the league playing for Jordan,
number one overall pick,
number one overall pick, who mishandled him. This is the same guy who played 15 years in the NBA. The average pro career is 4 years. He played 15 years. He was a starter on a playoff team.
I don't think he played that long.
12 years.
Yeah.
Okay, let me make sure I'm getting this correct. He played from
12
2000.
He came in
Tomato,
01.
tomato.
He came in 01.
He played 12. Okay, here's
I'm sorry, I'm not 15. I'm sorry, he played 13 years. I take that back. He played 13 years. He was a starter on a playoff team. Never made the All-Star team, right? Never made the All-Star team, but he played 13 years, started on a playoff team, played way longer than anybody, played way longer than the average pro career. So when I think about a bust, I think about somebody that just completely flamed out and didn't do anything.
Isn't a bust someone
so there's
who,
not many busts.
Isn't a bust someone who nowhere near gets to the level of their expectations? And as a number one pick, there was an expectation of here. He's a 12-year vet who averaged 6 points and 5 rebounds. But
you gotta look at one thing that a lot of us don't look at, and that's this. Hold on. I'm gonna say this to you. This is true, Fluent. Mismanagement of talent. For one, you come in the league and you hold on. Let me say this to you. Hold on. Let me say this to you though, Fluent. Fluent. I want to say this to you though. No, because this is very important. This is true, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you look at Charlotte, they have a history of drafting guys high, but underachieving with how they develop guys and how they use guys. For example,
that's unfortunate.
If Malik Monk stays in Charlotte, we may not never see Malik Monk as he is today, in a different situation where a different coach will allow that have tapped into his skill sets and he's had better player development. He went into a situation with Michael Jordan as a guy who's coming back from his retirement, right? From his second retirement, he's coming back. He's going to be the man. So you're going into practice with this dude. Everything that was lined up around the team was pro Michael Jordan. So you as a young guy, you ain't finna come in over all these vets that was around on the team too, and just be able to do what normal number one overall picks rookies could do. So if you're telling me that he was in the league and he was able to been given the possessions, the cuts and everything and allowed to fail and go through the ups and downs like a normal number one overall pick would do, then you got a story. But since he came in and you dealing with a dude like, well, I'm saying when he came in, you're dealing with a dude like Michael Jordan who already didn't want you there. He wanted you traded. He wanted you gone. So you're coming to a situation where I'm not going to be the man. I'm not going to be featured. I'm a number one overall pick, first high schooler ever. So you got to remember that. That's tough coming out of high school into the league, and then you come into the league and you're not even offered the opportunity to fail before you can even succeed. And then it snowballs from then on. But you was good enough to be able to consistently keep yourself and have a job in the league longer than some of the guys who we, call some of the elite players in the game.
That's the great reason why he wasn't a star. And listen, there's always reasons. I'm not going to call them excuses. There's always reasons why their careers end up where they end up. But the fact of the matter is, aside from those reasons, there's an expectation on a first overall pick. And he'll tell you himself, based on those expectations, I'm a bust.
Right. So hold on. So what's the problem? Here's my question to you. What's the problem with him? Hold on. What's the problem with him criticizing LeBron when we got dudes like?
We don't care about that.
We don't care about
okay.
I got right to criticize LeBron. Just like we have every right to criticize every single player in the NBA.
No. But that's the problem that he's getting now. People are saying, oh, you were a
agree with
bust.
him.
You can't talk about LeBron or any other player. But
that's just
no, we don't
LeBron
do that.
James fans. They'd say anything to defend LeBron.
Yeah, that's
okay, no. That's what's going viral online right now. That's the narrative that's being pushed. Even though you got guys like Perk, who didn't have the greatest NBA career, he on TV criticizing AD and all these dudes every single day.
Perk criticizes everyone, and if he was a first overall pick, he'd also be a bust, but he wasn't. But yeah, no, he has every right to criticize whoever and say whatever he wants about anybody. That's fine. I'm just saying he's a bust, but again, that's not necessarily. I don't want to say it's not a bad thing, but it's based on expectations versus what you achieve, which he didn't. Anthony Bennett's another bust. Ben Simmons is going to be a bust, guys, if not already a bust. Like there's a lot of them. Sam Bowie was a bust, even if it's injuries. That's the reason. But if you're a very high pick and you don't get anywhere near that level of expectation, you're a bust. It's not. We take it as a really bad word. It's just all it means is you didn't meet the expectations, which may have been.
Is that all on the players or is that all?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not always on the players. It's on the coaching. It's on the team. It's on the circumstance. Yeah. It could be because of injuries. There's a million reasons why, and that's the part where people struggle with. They're like, "Oh, he's not a bust because." No, if there's a because, that's just the reason why he didn't achieve.
He's a bust. He's a bust.
If you're the number one, so Fluent, if you're the number one overall pick, how do you feel an organization should use that player?
Well, you know what? It's twofold. So if the organization isn't using me correctly, my job is in the offseason, work on my game, get better, maybe force a trade to somewhere else and force them to play me or to move me where I can show my skill set. He was only with Washington for 4 years. He easily could have worked on his games, the deficiency of his games. Right. And when he went to LA or wherever else, showed what he could do. I'm not saying he didn't, but he showed that, hey, this is who I am. I'm a serviceable NBA player who can play 10 plus years, give you 6, 7. I think 1 year he scored 11 points a game and 6, 7, 8 rebounds, right? This is who I am. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that's amazing. I wish I could have played 12 years in the NBA and averaged 6 and 5. I wish. But the expectation was I'm going to be a 25 and 10 guy and a perennial all-star. Well, I didn't achieve that. So unfortunately, the word that's used is I didn't live up to the expectations or I'm a bust. It's a bad word, but that's what it is.
Go ahead,
Just because you're the number one pick doesn't mean that like the franchise is going to default build around you. That's not what that means. But
well, then what does it mean, Lo?
Expectation. There is a level of
because if I'm the number one overall pick, that's what that suggests to me, that the unit is going to be built around
James Worthy, or they built around Magic Johnson.
It was already built around. It was actually built around the ball.
Well, that's my point.
But yeah, it depends. Again, that goes to the situation, Lo.
Exactly. I agree with you.
The Lakers already had the greatest center of all time at that point,
right?
And Magic.
But if we're talking about a bad team, if we're talking about a bad team, then that's something completely different as opposed to what you just mentioned, Lo, with the Lakers, who were just in the NBA Finals. I'm sorry. Yeah, they were in the NBA Finals in '82 and ended up with the number one overall pick. Well, of course, we're not building around James Worthy because we already loaded. We're just going to add James Worthy as opposed.
They were lucky to get that because of a trade, right?
They were lucky to get that, as opposed to the New York Knicks in '85.
No, just use Washington. Use Washington,
or as opposed to Washington, right? Who we're garbage. Yeah, we're the worst team in the league. We got the number one overall pick, and we're going to draft this big guy. And logic tells us we're going to build our unit around him. We're going to develop him. We're going to build our unit around him. And I think part of that is they did a poor job at developing him.
That's facts. Hey, look, and you talking about roster mismanagement. They let Caleb Martin walk away. They cut Caleb Martin in Charlotte.
Yeah, they did. Yes, they did.
Did
you hear Charlotte? Oh, I think it's a super chat, so I'll let Ron go before I say it.
Fluent, is Bill Walton a bust?
Is Bill Walton a bust?
Yes.
Injuries.
I think
injuries. Yeah.
No, the same reason Greg Oden's a bust.
He's a bust, Fluent. Come on now.
Because he did bring Portland their only championship.
How do you call someone who won an MVP even though he didn't deserve it? How do you call someone who won an MVP a bust?
The same way you just said he don't deserve it. You just said it.
No, but he has the accolades. He has the titles. Like I would say that.
Winning a ring for the team that drafted you number one. That's a good return on investment.
That's what I'm saying. So I have a lot. Yeah, I don't think he's a top 75 player, but I don't know that he's bust because of he did unfortunately short-lived, but he did achieve a lot.
He had a 4-year stretch.
Is Derrick Rose a bust? Kawhi was number 15.
Well, Yeah, but I mean,
No,
he's
no.
not a
Come on,
number one
Ron,
pick.
Ron,
But would
come
you?
on.
would
Is
you-
is Derrick Rose a
Come on,
bust?
Ron. Come on.
Is Derrick Rose a bust?
Yes.
No, I don't think the
Yes.
expectations
Bro,
were.
time out. You had to think about that.
What?
Derrick Rose
He's
is no
a
damn bust, man. The man won an MVP.
I
He's
didn't
a
I
bust.
We
just
just
say
spoke
no?
about Bill Walton. Like,
I always want to think. I
No,
think
but
about
he said, but Derrick Rose put up numbers doing it. Derrick Rose put up numbers.
So did Bill
he's
Walton.
A bust.
What?
He's a bust. He's a
No.
bust.
Oh, Bill
No.
Walton averaged what? 13 and 13, something like that.
No.
Oh
No,
no,
much
he did
more
not
than that.
average 13.
No, it's
We can't-
he's talking about Wes Unseld MVP, and even Wes Unseld averaged like 5,000 rebounds.
He was
Nah,
13.
Wes Unseld was averaging
Wes-
17 rebounds.
For me,
Yeah, I said even he averaged more rebounds. I'm
For me,
Yeah.
I exclusively hold the bust title to super high, like 1, 2, maybe third pick overall, hopefully one, and like never achieved anything.
So, Fluent, let me ask you this. So whose fault? So, do you think a player that was as good as Adam Morrison coming out of school, out of Arizona? Can he come out of Arizona, y'all?
No,
Adam
he was
Morrison.
No, he was
So
So was
Gonzaga.
that, do you think that was mismanagement? And do you think that was mismanagement in the NBA, or he's just this bust? All of a sudden, he can't play no more as soon as he gets to the next level.
He just never took showers.
Stop.
No, I do think it was mismanagement.
Where was
because
he drafted? What pick
he
was
was
he?
drafted in Jordan.
He's
Jordan
drafted to
took him at-
Charlotte.
Jordan-
Another
Jordan
one
took-
drafted to Charlotte.
I think
And
Jordan-
then he
was
got
number
moved to the
3. I
Lakers.
think he was
He got
number
moved
3.
to. He was
Yeah.
drafted to
I
Charlotte.
think so.
He was drafted to Charlotte.
Number
He got
3.
moved to the Lakers and won a chip and didn't even play a game for the Lakers.
Yeah,
he was even-
but he's honestly his
Bust.
game probably just didn't Some guys just their game doesn't translate to the
No.
NBA.
But no.
Shout
My
out to
point to
Jimmy
you is,
Fredette.
hold on. My point to you is that Charlotte was a franchise that was known for blowing talent. A lot of this stuff I'm saying to you is you're getting, because Charlotte's getting all those top picks. Think about this, and all of these dudes can't play.
Listen,
So we talk about all the dudes except for LaMelo Ball.
When we get away from the first pick, when we even just 2 and 3, my level of expectation starts to go down because some teams take chances on projects, even as high as 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Especially
No,
depending on
Tone,
the
not
draft.
no.
Oh, but they was hold on, Tony.
Yeah, especially depending on the
they was
draft.
getting
class,
short.
they do.
yeah, it
They
also
will.
They
depends
were
on the
getting hold on, low. They were getting surefire guys over there in Charlotte. They were picking dudes that was in the national championship games. They were picking dudes who was in the,
What does that mean, though?
no. I'm saying they were picking dudes. Hold on, Adam Morrison was one of the highly regarded players coming out of college when he came out.
Okay.
So this is my thing. His career ended up being a complete bust. But why was that? Was that because of him, or is that because of the mismanagement of the organization of the players?
I'm so, if he was that surefire, why did he go 3? Why did not just go 1 or 2?
He came out. I think he came out in 2006.
Yes.
I
Right. Okay. He could have easily won one that year. He could have easily won one that year.
Who went number 1? I think it was Bogniani.
Bargnani.
Yeah, Bogniani
And
went
then
number 1.
Yeah, but Adam Morrison was better than him though. Coming out of school.
But he still didn't get drafted though. So Bargnani went 1. LaMarcus Aldridge was second. I don't want to speak to my summers, but LaMarcus Aldridge was second. And even LaMarcus Aldridge, after he got drafted, he was immediately traded on draft night. So we can't say all these things are like guaranteed when everybody is looking for different things. Players get traded on draft night. Depends on how you're getting scouted accordingly. Depending on how well you did in the workout. And there's so many other factors and variables that we don't know about that it's happening in the process of being drafted. That I mean, what are we gonna say that the Warriors did a really bad job at building Wiseman, or just Wiseman is just not as good as we thought?
No, that was the Warriors' fault. That's hold on. Let's stay right there. That's what I was cooking Mars about.
But the Warriors,
He was not
Warriors
cooking. He was just waffling. But
the Warriors are way better at developing talent. So like
hold on. No. The Warriors. Hold on. I'm gonna give you good examples. The Warriors destroyed those type of players because what they did was they took guys like him, and I'm gonna tell you why. They took him and tried to mold him into a Draymond Green type of prototype. They want him to play that instead of him. Hold on. I'm gonna say it again. Hold on. Instead of him playing his game, which was a back to the basket jump hook game, they had him out in his rookie year shooting threes, shooting fadeaways, shooting jump shots, and trying to pass the ball and set a million picks. That wasn't his game. His game was post up, jump hook, Bros barbecue. They turned that around, and because that's not how they played around Curry and those guys. And they tried to put him in an up-pace offense, and he was a slower, half-pace type player. Now you got dudes like Mars running around here saying he's the worst double-double in the league. It's bullshit.
He
is.
Mars has a question.
First of all, James Wiseman was not a post-up big in high school, and in his 3 games at Memphis, he was a face-up big who would run the floor. That was his game. He was not a post-up big. He didn't have a post game at all. He never had a post game, so that's not true. All you have to do is watch him in high school and watch him in Memphis. He was not a post-up big. He was a face-up big. That's how he played his game. So him taking jump shots was his game. He would roll to the rim, he would run in transition, and he would be a face-up big. That was his game. He had no playmaking ability. He was a bad rebounder.
He was still catching in the post.
He was not.
He was a face-up big. I'm telling you.
I'm saying he was okay. He's playing like Chris Bosh.
Keep going, Mars.
He was a face-up big.
Keep going, Mars.
He was a face-up big who would run the floor in transition, and in the half court he would occasionally set screens and roll. That was his offensive game. There was no playmaking. There was no post-up game. He didn't have a post-up game at all. He had no counters, no nothing in the post. He was egregious in the post. You watch him in high school, you watch him at Memphis, you could see that. And in only the 3 games he played, you can still see that. And defensively, he was someone who could theoretically protect the rim. That was what his ceiling was. He still wasn't able to move on the perimeter, blah, 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 and he still had questionable IQ. Everything that he showed in Golden State is the same things he showed in high school and at Memphis, and teams still saw the potential in the athleticism, and that's why he went on. But he was never a post-up big. He wasn't used incorrectly.
And
Right.
that's
They ruined him. They ruined him, dog. Cut the shit.
I can't.
No, I'm just saying you lied when you said he was a post-up big. You lied about his game.
Come on. Hold on. Let me ask you. Hold on, Fluent. Let me ask you a question, Fluent.
All you have to do is go watch him.
Fluent. You're in Canada, Fluent. Was Chris Bosh a post-up player? When he came to, he's a post-up. And when I say post-up, I mean he can face you up in the post. That's still a post-up player. If I'm catching in the post, but I'm playing you from the front, that's still a post-up player. When he went to the Golden State Warriors, they got him out here shooting fadeaway threes. Come on, bro.
No, they didn't.
He was not shooting.
Hold on.
I'm gonna.
He wasn't shooting threes.
If
You
I
said
may,
fade away. We're making stuff up. We're making stuff up. We don't need. I know for a fact I've watched more James Wiseman than everyone up here, so I don't need to. I
probably agree with that.
So go ahead,
I
Tone. I'm
feel
sorry.
I feel sorry for your eyes that you've had to do that. But,
Yes, it's a pain.
but that goes to my point: is they don't always draft the best player at 1 or 2 or 3. Sometimes it's need, sometimes it's by position. That's the reason why Sam Bowie goes over Jordan, or who got drafted? Brad Daugherty gets drafted over Len Bias when Len Bias was clearly the best player in that draft. Sometimes it goes by position, by whatever. So when I say a bust, there has to be a level of expectation. Like I saw people in the chat saying, well, JJ Redick was a bust. No, he wasn't. He was the 11th pick. Like you're too low down to be high expectations.
So stay right there.
It's a combination of a very, very 1-2 draft pick plus a level of expectation. The year Andrea Bargnani got drafted number 1, that came out of nowhere. There was no expectation.
I didn't know who he was, Tone.
Tone, stay right there, Tone.
I didn't know who he was, Tone, to be honest.
Even to call Anthony Bennett a bust, which he is, but at the same time, did anyone have
nobody number 1?
Hold on, Tone. Tone, don't leave that, Tone. So don't leave there. Stay right there. Now, here's my point, right? Theoretically, we look at a guy like Looney. He was able to fit in, but guess what the Warriors did? They dumbed his game down. When Looney was coming out of high school and coming to the league, when he was from high school, Looney was a completely different player. Looney
didn't come right out of high school. Hold on.
I did not say that, Chilltown.
Okay,
I'm saying from high school on to when he got to the league. Looney was a different type of player, bro. Looney was a guard. Looney damn near played like KD. Did you watch Looney in high school?
Yeah, but then he got hip injuries. And he put on weight and he became more of a traditional big because he couldn't move the same. That's what happened. And that's not Golden State molding him. That's his body breaking down.
If I may,
and he had to adapt. That's
here goes. I think Lowe said this. It also depends on your draft class. So since we're on James Wiseman goes number 2 overall, right? Anthony Edwards goes 1. Who else were the Golden State Warriors going to draft? Well, they're not drafting LaMelo Ball because, well, they have Clay and Steph, right? Patrick Williams, Isaac Okoro, a guy whose name I can't pronounce, Ogungo something, Obi Toppin. Like if you go down the list, there was really nobody else. So they drafted on athleticism and potential.
Yeah, I knew because this is back when I was a Golden State fan. I knew they were going to take James Wiseman. I always said I would have traded down. I would have traded down. That's why I would have done. My idea was trade down and get Danny Avdija. That hasn't really worked out. But that's what I would have done.
Oh man, damn it!
Have you looked at this draft class of Wiseman's?
But I knew Wiseman wasn't going to work. I knew
More
that.
to your point, Fluent, though, even this year, I think we have a chance to see that. Now, it's the obvious number one pick going to the Spurs.
Right.
But then when you go to the
Stop,
next two
Mars.
picks,
Stop. Shut up,
when you-
Mars.
when you-
Mars,
he could
stop,
drop.
Mars, stop,
when
Mars,
you
stop.
go to even the next two teams, so it's widely believed that the second best player is old boy for the G League Ignite.
Scoot.
Scoot Henderson.
Yeah, Charlotte might take Brandon Miller.
Well,
Charlotte
that's
might
what I'm
Right,
saying.
which would be crazy.
And see what I'm saying, Lo? So
Brandon Miller's fun, too.
theoretically they're supposed to take Scoot, but
Yes.
they already have a point guard, so it's a chance that he falls to 3. Now, even when you get to 3, the
That's
Portland
Portland.
Trailblazers have their
They,
center.
they might trade the pick.
There's a super chat.
I draft Scoot and Trey LaMelo Ball.
There's a
Okay,
I
well,
draft
you see?
you and
You see,
keep
and
them
that
both.
you see what I'm saying? So
No.
it's like, do you take the best player or do you take the best fit?
No,
What do you do?
no.
Or do you trade your star and draft
Trade
that?
down.
player?
When you have a pick
Trade
that high,
down.
when
Trade
you
down.
pick that when you have a pick that
Trade
high,
down.
unless you have a franchise player who you know is the key, like a Luka Doncic type player, you take the best player available and you make it work. That's my idea. But Charlotte are gonna take Brandon Miller. I wouldn't be surprised.
I want you guys to know
They
it's a
might take
chance
down.
that Scoot can fall to 4 because the Blazers.
Facts.
Hey, the Blazers can't draft. If the Blazers decide
Well,
to
the
keep
Rockets
the draft
have
pick,
Jalen Green, so we got to go
He's a
even
2.
further
He's
down.
a 2. We're good. We're good. He's
You
a
got
2.
KPJ though.
Hey, he's dispensable. He's dispensable. He's dispensable.
Here's what I know based on Charlotte's drafting over the last few years. Whatever they decide to do is going to be the wrong decision.
Fire.
Well, I trade LaMelo Ball and I draft Scoot. LaMelo Ball, the way he plays, his style, he's made an all-star team, but you're not going to win anything the way he plays. I don't like the way he plays. I like Scoot. I like Scoot more. But I'm saying if I'm Charlotte and I got the higher pick, I'm trading LaMelo. I'm trying to go get a big man because is coming back next year, I think. What's old boy's name was suspended this year?
Miles.
I trade LaMelo, I trade Rozier, and I trade the pick. I trade them all.
I trade Dame.
Yeah, I would trade. Well, you said you trade the pick too?
Everything. Yeah, everything.
No. But you wouldn't want to start. Hold on, you wouldn't want to start with Scoot.
He's just trying to keep everyone away from Charlotte.
Hold on, Tone. You don't like Scoot?
You don't like
He
Charlotte.
just doesn't want him in Charlotte.
I think Scoot is going to be underwhelming.
No. I like him. Hold on, Tone. I like Scoot with the wing that's coming back. They're going to be athletic, be able to push the ball, get in the open court, and then you use LaMelo and Rozier and them, package them, and go get a good big man.
LaMelo's game is.
You know what? I would do that. Hold on, I would use LaMelo, package him, and what's his name, and try to go get my hands on Cat if I could.
Yo, we gotta move on. Well,
can't win with LaMelo, but you want Cat.
next month we'll get into all the good draft talk and whatnot. Next month we'll have the live draft show, all of that. You know, we gonna do all that. Bring the chips, the dip, your wings, all of that. We gonna do the draft.
Well, we're gonna do a live draft watch.
Yeah, of course. You know that's coming next.
Towns is
month.
hilarious.
When we get Wemby,
we'll talk about all those scenarios and whatnot. But as of right now, I put up the polls. The picks are in. Euro, you ready to do this? In case you don't know, the show is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. And as of right now, we will go ahead and make the picks for, the top 4 players in the series. Whenever Euro comes to paging Euro and Hezzy.
Don't make me call it your government name.
Whoa.
Hezzy Tween in the house.
All right, here we go.
Jimmy's clearly number 1.
Clearly the best player in the series?
Clearly.
Okay, well, we're going to start with clearly the best player in the series. Jimmy Butler, I asked you guys, will he go higher or lower on points, rebounds, and assists? And that number is 41.5.
Higher.
You guys said higher, and I don't know if anybody disagrees with this higher pick. Is it anybody out there?
Game? Lower.
Yes. Fluent, you're saying lower.
Jimmy Butler ain't even gonna score.
Stop.
Boy,
it.
this boy on
He don't really want it that bad.
Okay. Hey, y'all remember Malone said that. He's going for the gusto tonight. Watch what I tell you.
Jimmy ain't got the heart. He ain't got the heart.
23, 6, and 7. 23, 6, and 5 is what? 23, 29.
That's 34.
So he's going to fall short of 41.5.
All right, cool.
And the chat voted higher, so we're gonna rock with higher.
They
Next,
always
we
vote
got
higher.
Jason Tatum.
Hey, they always vote higher. How many times have they won?
Well, they're
Exactly.
actually going lower with JT on 41.5.
Yeah, so
Wow.
they're haters. They're haters. It's fine.
Tatum will have a Versioso today, bro.
Hold on,
Come
41
No,
and
he
a
won't.
half.
He gonna flop.
And Jimmy
He gonna
Butler
flop.
will run from
He
the
gonna flop.
matchup.
It's gonna be Jalen Brown gonna be the one that played well tonight. Tatum gonna flop.
41 and a half.
Tatum has always showed up
Rebounds
in
and
closeout games.
Points, rebounds, assists.
Points, no, just points and rebounds. 41
Points
and a
and
half.
rebounds.
Oh,
Well,
damn.
he's gonna have like 40 points. So
That's
all he needs is 2 rebounds.
32 and 10. Yeah, he's got
Tatum,
that.
Tatum always shows up in
He's going higher.
closeout
He's
games.
going higher.
Yeah, and then you'll
Nope.
see Jimmy Butler running from the matchup again.
You know who's
Don't
gonna have a
guard
big game
Jason
today?
Tatum.
You know
Who's
who's gonna have
that?
a big game today?
Who's that?
You're gonna think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, watch. Brogdon is gonna have a big, like when I say big, like 17, 20 point. Like he have a big game.
All right, hey,
He
Fluent.
got a torn arm, Fluent. Sorry,
Fluent,
that's not gonna work.
we're gonna do our own one next. I'm gonna ask you
Okay.
about Brogdon, and
right.
we'll get to that. But next, we have none other than Bam Adebayo.
Over.
Yeah.
Whatever
The
it
best
is,
player-
I'm
the
going
best
over
player
him
on the
today.
team.
You don't even know the stats or the numbers. Over already?
It don't matter. I'm going over because what you call's on his ass. He got Udonis Haslam on his ass tonight.
Bam is
We
going to have
have
to save
Bam.
Jimmy Butler today.
20,
Yeah,
20,
Bam's gonna have to
29.
show that he's the best player on the team.
Yeah, again.
Points and rebounds, Bam, 26 and a half. I asked you guys, and you guys told me lower.
Over, man. Over, bro.
Bam is
He
going to
gonna
have to show up today and save Jimmy Butler.
You telling me that
Cut that shit out, Lo. You
26,
scary ass
26
dude.
and a half, that's 13 and 10. He can't do that?
That's
Hey,
20.
Lo
That's
don't
20.
mean that shit. Lo is doing that shit out of spite because of what I said about Jamal Murray. He's a hater, bro. I peeped this game.
That's
Oh, you hating today?
Wait,
That's
go back.
That's 13 points, 13 rebounds. He can't do that?
But that would still be under. He needs 13 and 14. But close enough.
Or 15 points and 13 rebounds. He can't do that?
He can't get.
He's gonna get the over just on points alone. He'll get 27
Yeah, I might say
points.
points alone. He's gonna like 20.
He's gonna have to backpack Jimmy Butler because Jimmy Butler just doesn't show up in these moments.
Exactly.
He just
All right,
doesn't
cool. No problem, Mars.
Ticket, why you letting these dudes troll you like this?
When Jimmy Butler's 7 for 22, I don't want to hear no.
Jimmy's gonna hit this motherfucker for the sonic boom tonight. You watch what I tell you.
Yeah, he definitely gonna be booming it off the backboard.
Yeah, all right.
And last but certainly not least, we have Jaylen Brown. Just points. Jaylen Brown, just points.
Man, Jesus, this guy.
How many points?
What's
It's
the number?
23.
23?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he going higher. He going higher.
And the chat said lower.
Nah, he going higher.
He's going
Why
higher.
Jaylen Brown always run like he gotta take a shit, man? Yeah, bro, run straight. Bro, he always dragging his feet. He always dragging his feet, holding his stomach when he run, bro. Like run straight, bro.
Look like you about to fall over, don't it?
No. Like he took like 10 X-Lax for the game. I'm like, yo, you gotta go to the bathroom, dog. Like, man.
All right, as y'all can see in the top right corner, you have the payout multiplier times 10. That's what we have right now, chat. Euro, go ahead and throw 20 in that entry amount. Our payout goes from 20 to 200. All right, we're going to go ahead and submit this. If you guys want to do this, feel free to do it on your own, but just make sure you use the promo code, the panel. By the way, we just did a $500 giveaway. P. Hauser 90, he claimed his, winnings and his earnings. We're doing another one. To enter, you must sign up with the promo code, the panel, by Friday. On Monday, we're giving out, another 500. The winner will be announced this Friday, so you guys stay tuned. But you got to get it in before the end of the show on Friday, and then, we'll go ahead and make that happen. Monday, we'll send out the earnings, and then we'll go ahead and redo the whole thing again. But as you can see, this is the contest that we entered. So, we'll circle back around to that tomorrow and see how we did. Fellas up here, we'll go ahead and do another one in about 20-30 minutes. We'll get around to that. But as for right now, I have some super chats that I want to get to. Some good chats, some bad chats, but it's my job to read them, so I'm left with no choice. T Wolf 2486 said Ticket dresses like Terry Crews in Malibu's Most Wanted.
How you know that? You seen Ticket
Terry
before?
Crews in Malibu?
What is he talking about?
All right.
What motherfucker seen me on the beach or something before?
Yeah, what are you talking about?
Be careful. You got a stalker.
Reggie Reg said thoughts on Ticket and Mars doing a show together. Ticket in Mars.
We're on a show together
Right here they are. What are you talking
every
about?
day. They're on a show together every day.
Five days a week. We're on a show together.
Yeah,
I am bugging.
By the way, the link is pinned in the chat right there at the top of the chat up there. Just click that and use the promo code.
Hey, Ron, we on the beach smoking expensive cigars. You understand what I'm saying?
Y'all see that? Y'all see?
Ticket sent me a link to join yesterday or something.
I fell asleep, man. You had waited so long to come in, man.
Hey, you know, I was. My apology. I was busy. You know what I'm saying?
I bet you was. I bet you was, Lo. I bet you was, Lo.
I looked at my phone. I was like,
I bet you was, Lo.
Hey, Lo, you're a real one, though, Lo. Lo will pull up, man. Lo will pull up in a hood near you. He don't care.
As long as he's not busy.
Bro, Lo is crazy, bro. I got love for Lo, man. And Mars is a little crazy ass.
Who else to pull up?
Oh, you'll pull up, chill.
Okay. Make sure we can.
I might even go live. Phil pull up. Phil pull right up.
I will not pull up. You can ask for me. I will not pull up. I will be in the chat saying no. Just
Hey, Mars, so you love in the chat though?
Yeah, I'll be in the chat.
Mars, are you a chat merchant?
100%.
Yes, 100%. Mars is a chat merchant. Yes, he is. Hell yes.
Man. When Fluid start going live, I'm gonna pull up on his channel when he start going live again.
June 1st. Let's do it.
June 1st. Y'all will become more fluent. In the meantime, Josh Diaz said, I don't trust mass Cody Zeller's minutes. Top 10 D versus top 5 offense. It's going to be an amazing series, though.
I'm talking about if Miami ends up playing against Denver. And yeah. He's talking about if Miami plays against Denver.
Cody like he ready to get folded every time he on the court. I'm looking at him. Hey, I know one thing, though. Did y'all read that new rule that just came out?
The flopping.
There's a super chat about it.
We'll get to it in a second. Hold on. We'll get to it in a second.
We're going to get to it.
Zay Rich said Nuggets first heat will be the 2014 Finals 2.0. Nuggets whooped the Heat by a record Finals margin.
I think they served.
Y'all think so?
The Heat have to make it first.
Yeah, they got to get. They got to get to the. They got to get out the Eastern Conference.
Oh my God! If Jimmy Butler folds and blows a 3-0,
if Jimmy blows a 3-0 lead, oh my God! All this top 5 conversation.
Oh, Jimmy built like that, man.
It's a long day, man.
Y'all know Jimmy built like that, man.
Spo might fall closer to Doc Rivers as a coach if he drops the 3-0 lead.
Listen, they had one of them Pat Riley Godfather talks before the game
tonight.
tonight.
Have the most 3-0 leads blown in history. Oof.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't going to happen.
Small sample size.
Mars, who writes your material, Mars? That's what I want to know. Who writes your material?
I would assume it's Moni Love.
It's just natural talent. You
UK,
guys should
right?
appreciate me while I'm here.
Moni Love is from
Moni in the middle. Where's she at? In the middle.
Oh, man, Jimmy.
Lucas T Fitness with a super chat said, you guys constantly underrate Amari Stoudemire and act like he's not top 30 player of all time.
Because he's not.
Who was that? Is that Melo Ball in the
No way. That's one of the worst takes.
Amari
that's Melo Ball right there.
Amari Stoudemire and Damon Stoudemire combined aren't top 30.
You are not a top 30 player all time. No, he isn't. Amari Stoudemire was awesome.
So you guys are hating on Amari Stoudemire.
No. We're just not overrating him. That's all, Mars. There's a difference.
Fluid dropping the Damon Stoudemire though. Hey, Dame was cold.
Dame was
the first Dame in Portland was cold.
Yeah.
Philip Brock said the Knicks retiring Melo jersey is like the Wizards retiring John Wall's jersey. Both great players, but didn't move.
That's a lot, bro. Hold on. Let me just spell that. Real quick. That's a lot because you gotta look at what Melo did. It's not getting started. You gotta look at what Melo did though for the organization.
Yeah,
Melo went to the Knicks. Hold on. Melo went to the Knicks at a time that really no stars wanted to go over there. The only other guy who went over there was Amari. And nobody else really wanted to go over there. That was a time where LeBron, all them guys was turning the Knicks down because how they was moving in that front office. Plus, the Knicks had not went to the playoffs in so long. The franchise was in dire straits just to try to get back to the playoffs. Melo comes over there. He gets to the playoffs. They turn the whole organization back around, sort of like what's going on now with Jalen Brunson and those guys. Since that first drop that they had been since Melo had took them to the playoffs, he makes J.R. Smith 6th man of the year. They do a good job with Mike Woodson. And then they have one bad season and they blow it up. They fired Mike Woodson for no reason.
Mike Wooden shouldn't have got fired.
That makes him jersey retirement worthy.
No, I'm saying no.
Melo is a player who needs to get his jersey retired for some franchise, and it won't be Denver.
No, him being the second all-time leading scorer in Knicks history gets his jersey retired. How about that? We ain't talking about a player.
Thanks for finishing. Hey, hold on. Hilltown. Thanks for finishing my sentence. And not only that, let's talk about the Denver Nuggets. The only other person in Denver who did more than him up until this point was Jokic. That was Jokic. Melo came in from his rookie year, made them a perennial contender. I mean, a perennial playoff team. He was battling all the beasts in the West every single year. It ain't his fault. He was running in Kobe the first round. It ain't his fault. He was running in Duncan. It ain't his fault. He's running in all those other.
Jokic shouldn't have been allowed to get number 15.
Hold. That's a fact.
They shouldn't have allowed him.
That's a fact. He should not have won number 15. No, that Joker should not have had access to number 15.
They can retire both.
Right. So hold on. All I'm saying to you is this though.
Retiring everybody's number, dude.
We ain't retiring everybody's number, Tone. We talking about an all-time great in a franchise history. We ain't talking about an all-time great player in NBA history. How many players? Let me ask you a question, Tone.
He's that too. Hold on. He's that too.
He's an all-time great in NBA history.
Hold on. He's that too,
I'm not even going there. Let me ask you a question, Tone, because you're a Laker fan. The second all-time leading scorer in Laker history. Is his jersey retired? In Laker history, the second all-time leading scorer in Laker history. Is his jersey retired?
Who's the second leading scorer in Lakers history?
I'm asking. Who's the second leading? No, I think it's Jabbar.
What did Jabbar do for the Lakers?
Once again,
what did he do before Magic came over there? What did he do before he got Magic?
You want to know what Jabbar did before?
Elgin Baylor's jersey's retired.
You want to know what Jabbar did? I'll tell you what he did. He scored the second most points in franchise history. That's what he did. Just like Carmelo Anthony did with the New York Knicks.
Facts. And not only that, Jabbar was getting his ass kicked. Jabbar was getting his ass kicked before Magic got drafted. And then let's be honest about. Hold on. Let's be honest.
We're not doing that.
The second greatest player of all time.
Hold on. Hey, Ron, let me finish this one sentence about Melo. Hey, Ron, let me finish this one sentence about Melo. The one thing the Knicks never did for Carmelo is they never really got him that second guy. Hold on. They never really got him that second guy. They told him they was going to try to get him. Remember, Amari got hurt. Once Amari got hurt, his career was basically over with. So they never got Melo the second guy. They told him they was going to get him when he went over to the Knicks. These are facts.
Washed up Jason.
You know what though?
Washed up Rasheed Wallace.
Kurt Thomas. But that means he didn't succeed. Period. You give a reason, you give an excuse. No, he didn't do enough for any franchise for his number to be retired. Period. You want to call him a player, he's whatever, that's fine. But to get your number retired, you have to listen. You just said you won't even give a guy his props for his skill level unless he goes to the finals. But now you want to
I didn't say that. No, I did not say that.
No, he's talking about ticket. I think
ticket.
Hold on. So let me ask you a question.
You see Fluent how it's
hold on. No. I'm about to demolish Fluent right now. Fluent, do you think Minnesota? Hold on. Do you think Minnesota should have retired KG's jersey?
No.
He's consistent.
I'm consistent.
Hey, Ron, you see the bullshit, Ron? You see the bullshit, Ron? You see the bullshit?
I've said this to you millions of times. They retire way too many people's numbers for no good reason other than for a publicity stunt. That's it.
So Minnesota should not have retired KG.
So they haven't. So
no, they haven't. Not only at it.
Let me ask you this. Who did more for their franchise? Who did more for their franchise? Who did more for their franchise? Vince Carter, KG, or Melo for the Knicks?
Who did more for their franchise?
Their franchise, yeah, to build it up.
KG. He took his team to the Western Conference Championship. How about that?
Vince Carter. What are we talking about?
It's Vince Carter, and it's not close, guys. And he doesn't have his number retired.
It's KG.
Say these other guys getting their numbers retired is crazy.
Minnesota also an expansion team.
You guys applaud.
Yeah, but he introduced basketball to the
He introduced. Okay, last I checked,
I guess I can't argue. I mean, Vancouver had a team.
He did introduce basketball.
Come on, Mike, baby.
Vancouver had a team.
Last I checked, Minnesota did not have this rich history as a franchise before KG showed up.
A nation versus a
city.
George Mikan?
Give me a break.
That's not the same. Let's be honest.
You said you would give Steve Nash more props for his skill set if he went to the finals, but you want to retire Melo's number for not going to the finals.
That's not the same thing. That's not close to the same thing. Because you know why? No, it's not. And the reason why it's not the same thing
do it on the biggest stage.
Say that last.
Did you see Melo do it on the biggest stage?
I seen Melo. Yes,
in the Olympics. Yeah.
In
the Olympics. Yeah.
I seen him do it in Madison Square Garden.
For the Knicks.
No, stop, chill. No way you said Madison Square Garden. There's no way you said that's the biggest.
Hold on, Low. You agree with Floyd? Hold on. Low. Do you agree with Floyd when he said Minnesota should not retire KG's jersey? Do you agree with that?
No. My standard for a jersey retirement is definitely lower. Okay, so actually that's a good question. Actually, two good questions, Chill. I know we just chatting now. So Barkley was a better power forward than Malone up until 97?
Was Barkley a better power? Wait a minute. Why are we
Back to the finals logic. Because Barkley made it and Malone didn't.
Why not? You never saw Malone do it in the highest stage, in the biggest stage.
I saw him go deep into the playoffs.
But you saw one person go deeper and actually played really well. Barkley played great in the finals.
Barkley did play great in the finals, and then I also saw Malone go deep into the playoffs more than I saw Barkley do it.
Did you up until 97? Did you?
Yes. Just so you know, in 1997, if I'm not mistaken, that was the fourth trip to the Western Finals in 5 years. Or in 6 years.
In 96, they made to the conference
West Finals. Yes, they lost to Seattle. 95, they lost to Houston.
95, they lost in the first round. 94, they made to the conference finals
against Houston.
93 was the first round.
And in 92, they lost in the conference championship.
Finals. And then all those other years, it's like first, second round exits.
Right.
So you saw him get to the conference finals. What
in 1992? I saw him get to the conference championship. And I still thought he was better. And I still thought he was better than Barkley.
Barkley up until 96 got to the conference finals. I want to say 2 or 3 times.
No, but up until Charles Barkley's first trip to the conference finals was in 93 when he went with Phoenix. Yes. That was it.
He didn't go. Oh, he went when he was in Houston. That's 97.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, you're cooked, Flo. What's the reference can't say?
Well, he didn't do it on the biggest stage. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, you know, one person did it on the biggest stage, so you should be able to assess the biggest stage because that's really what puts it over the top.
I don't know why we went back here. I think we need to talk about Carmelo deserving his jersey retired.
Carmelo deserves his jersey retired.
Yes.
I don't know. Fluent is. I think that's a bit of it.
And KG for sure deserves his jersey too.
And KG also.
He's the best player in the history of that organization. He's not a great player.
By such a wide margin.
KG is the best player in the history of that organization.
Because
100%. Melo certainly isn't.
The organization, you get your number retired.
After 12 years, did that not matter, Tom? No. Do you not care about stuff like that?
Right,
so what do you have to do to get your jersey retired in your eyes?
Finals appearance.
You have to stay with the organization for an extended period of time. So he has
12 years. He was there.
You need to be an elite player, and you need to.
He was first team All NBA 6 or 7 years, I believe he was there.
Going to the finals either multiple times or winning a championship, going deep and have team success. Because your value to the franchise is the team success. So if you, whether it's bad management, bad teammates, I don't care. If you are not part of a significant run of deep playoff runs, finals appearances, making your franchise great. If your franchise sucks, then no player on that franchise should get their jersey retired.
But what if the franchises? What if the franchises do before you and do after you, but with you they're not do?
No. Here's a better name. Here's a better name. You don't think Dominique Wilkins' jersey should be retired?
No.
And you love Nick.
And
you love Dominique Wilkins. You don't think there's a statue of Dominique Wilkins out? I'm gonna lose my mind. I can't handle this, man. This is making me nuts.
You think wait, put it back on chill. You think Al Horford's jersey should be retired before his?
Al Horford?
Because he got to the conference finals.
No, because he's not the level of player. You have to have everything. You have to be the level of player.
Okay. I just wanted to
you have to be the level of player. You have to be a multiple time All-Star. You need to be All NBA.
So Steve Nash also should not get his jersey not retired.
No, he shouldn't. My level is really high. I actually prefer.
I'm gonna have a stroke on this show. I swear, around.
So before 2016, LeBron James' jersey shouldn't have been retired in Cleveland.
I believe no one's jersey should be retired, and what the team should do is have like a ring of honor, honoring their all-time greats, as individuals. That's
Oh,
what
okay,
I
so-
believe. I don't believe
okay.
anybody's number should be retired.
Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm gonna have a stroke on this show.
All right,
Dominique not getting the jersey
let's
retired.
move along. Let's move
No,
along
Dominique didn't
before-
deserve it, man. He's not
Before I lose my good friend Chill on this show, because he's at his wits end right now.
Wait till tonight. I'm gonna make it worse.
Alan R has a good segue for
Chill,
us.
not yeah.
He said, big bubble butt booty Lowry gonna carry tonight.
Why'd you say it
think-
like that?
That's what he said. Big bubble butt booty Lowry is gonna carry.
You ain't have to
tonight.
read all that. He only sent $2. You ain't have to read all that.
BBL. Shout out to BBL, man. Big booty Lowry, man.
But no, he's gonna lose the game. That's what
Yo, I
meant.
have cleaners in here, and I'm just screaming out big booty Lowry. FYI.
I got 3 minutes. Let's go.
TS1 said Ticket said Brunson and Murray are top 10.
That's a very interesting top 10
He also said Jokic would be top 12 if he wins the championship.
all time.
All time?
All time.
But we
said
overrate him.
Yes, Ron. He said that. He said
Ticket
he'll
didn't say
top
that.
12 all time if he wins the championship.
Yo, why are you putting words in Ticket's mouth?
No, he said
That is
that.
what he said.
Go back a few episodes, maybe like 4 episodes. He said that.
I don't
did say
believe
that. He said that.
I don't believe Ticket would ever say such a thing.
You see how he quiet now? Ticket hilarious,
Pause.
man.
No, I ain't. I'm
Yeah,
listening.
I knew he was there. I knew he was there.
I hear the bullshit. I hear the bullshit.
That's
Go
what
ahead.
you said. I mean, if you think it's BS, it's BS. That's fine. But you said
To answer this
That's
question right here, yes.
No.
Yes.
Young SA9 said, should Golden State Warriors retire
Yes.
KD's jersey?
3 years of service gets your jersey retired.
Yes.
Yeah,
Three
three.
years.
Tone, you
years
cannot.
ago, that's
Tone,
2.5
Tone,
years.
just so you know, Tone, you cannot tell the story of the Golden State Warriors without him.
That doesn't mean he should be.
Now, you can't tell the story about the We Believe Warriors either. Matt Barnes ain't getting his jersey retired.
About the who?
Yo,
You can't tell the story about the Warriors without the We Believe Warriors. But Matt
Aaron
Barnes
Davis
ain't
ain't
getting.
getting
Oh, wait,
They ain't getting that
chill.
jersey
You think Iguodala should get his jersey retired?
Finals MVP. Can't tell the story without him.
No
And
way.
he did. How long was Iguodala there? And where does he rank? Where does he rank?
2014 till today. Well,
And where does he
give or
and
take
where
a
does,
couple
and
years.
where does he rank all? If you look at his numbers, where he
Who's
ranks
the
all
second
time in the
Memphis
history?
Mars?
Where does he rank all time in the history of the Golden State Warriors in points?
They will.
rebounds?
They will.
Because again, Mars, we're not talking about an all-time great player in NBA history. We're just talking about
Right.
an all-time great player for that organization.
They'll retire KD's jersey before
Then in about 30 years,
They'll
no
do
team
it
will have
before
jerseys
OKC
left.
do it.
Should
Hey,
Kawhi
Mars,
Leonard-
they'll do it before
Kawhi Leonard
OKC do it.
in
They
Toronto?
probably will. I don't think.
That's a
I don't
good
think they
one.
should.
Hold on, wait.
I don't
Chill.
think they should.
Ask, that's a good one. So is Kawhi getting his jersey retired? in
One
Toronto?
season, I wouldn't be
Yeah,
surprised.
That's the only champion.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
Okay, now I'm starting to agree with
They're gonna do it.
Fluent that maybe we're a bit too
now
lenient.
everybody.
This is
They have
ridiculous.
no numbers left.
Wait, yeah, we're not gonna have it.
What do you mean
By
everybody?
the
Tone?
time I'm
Everybody-
old and great, no one will have
everybody's
jersey numbers.
jersey is not getting
Listen.
retired. Kawhi Leonard,
There's
let
only
me be clear.
99. There's
For
only
1
99
year.
numbers. There's
For
only
one-
99 numbers.
Right.
And for 98 'cause you can't use 69.
And you can say for 1 year, Kawhi Leonard is the best player in the history of your organization.
But you can use 00 and 0 low, so there's still 99 numbers.
For one
They're-
season, you
they're
can say
gonna-
Kawhi Leonard is the
I'm
best
cooked,
player in the
I'm
history of your
cooked.
organization.
They're retiring his number over there, Fluent. I don't care what you say. His number is getting retired. Him and Kyle Lowry. Period.
And not Vince? So then
No, Vince. I think they'll eventually do
according
Vince.
to your logic,
Because he
according to your
introduced
logic, DeMar, Kyle Lowry, Kawhi Leonard.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
DeMar, no.
No. That's where I draw the line.
Yes.
That's where I draw the no.
He
He led them to the
Toronto
conference
Raptors without DeMar
finals.
I
Rosen.
don't care.
So you
No.
thinking about going to the conference finals? I think DeMar DeRozan is in the top 3 or top 4, top 3 all time in scoring in the history of the Toronto Raptors. I think he's one of two. Him, Chris Bosh, and him and Chris Bosh. I think they're the only two, and Vince Carter. They're the only 3 guys in the history of that organization that have been all pros. He played 9. I think he played 9 years there, something like that. So again, Mars, we got to remember what we're talking about here. We're not talking about an all-time great player in NBA history. We're talking about an all-time great player for that organization. That's what we're talking about.
If DeMar DeRozan gets his jersey retired, I don't care about anyone getting their jersey retired.
No one,
It doesn't-
no
it
one
means
better,
nothing.
no one better
It
than
means
Because just so you guys know, Miami is retiring Udonis Haslam's jersey. That jersey is going to hang on the Raptors. That's 100% going to
Yeah, so
happen.
like I said, when I'm old,
That is-
like,
you-
which is
you-
a long
and-
way
and-
away,
and-
no jersey numbers will be left.
Just so you know, they're gonna hang number
People
40
will
up
be
in the
playing with
Raptors.
punctuation marks on their back because there's no numbers. Like there'll be nothing left.
Yeah, I'm question mark, exclamation mark. That's my jersey.
All right, fellas, moving along. Super chat from Nuance. He said Charlotte thinking of trading their pick and moving down. What's your thoughts on that?
Smart.
Depends what they can get. If they want to move down to like
Thank you,
9 or
Steve.
10 and get like a Taylor Hendricks or something. That could be all right. But it depends.
Trade everybody. Trade. Listen, your team stinks. It's always stunk. You're not good at drafting high, so just trade and
Wait a minute. Why are we trading everybody, Tony? If you look at the Charlotte team, you got your franchise point guard who was hurt last season. That's why they were as bad as they were. The year before that, they weren't that bad. They were actually on.
They've been in the playoffs.
They were teetering on making the playoffs. They weren't that bad. Then the Bridges issue happened, and then Ball got hurt. But you already got your franchise quarterback, quote unquote. You got your franchise quarterback in Ball. So you blowing this whole thing up and starting over again. What are you starting over with?
Because they're teetering on mediocrity, and that is the death of any NBA franchise. Either get really bad or really good.
They are really bad. They're at the bottom of the league, Tom.
Because LaMelo
healthy, they're middle, like you said, teetering on. That's not what you want.
One other reason why you're a sicko, Carmelo Anthony is one of the top 9 scorers that ever scored to play the game in basketball. So not only is he a great player in Knicks history, he's a great player in NBA history.
Facts.
Great player. Great player. I didn't say he wasn't a great player. What I said was, if you're going to retire a number, he has to be a franchise changing player, and he wasn't. Did he take him to the Eastern Conference Finals multiple times?
No, the second round.
But he took him out of his obscurity.
So did Julius Randle.
But Julius Randle didn't do what Melo did, though.
Let's calm down. Well, he made the second round too.
He made the second round.
No. I'm saying as far as all around, talking about Melo was the second all-time leading scorer in the franchise history, and only how many years playing?
Give Julius Randle some time.
If that's the level of measurement to retire someone's number, got them out of obscurity, dude.
What I'm saying is sometimes you got teams, you understand that you'll do things like that for example, who's retiring? Who you think Memphis is retiring?
No one.
Who's jersey they retiring?
Yeah, but the Knicks are a storied franchise, though. They're not.
Yeah, no. I'm saying no. But I'm saying no. What I'm saying to him is that the Knicks, at the time Melo went over there,
who have the
they
Kings
were going through
Who have the Sacramento Kings retired?
Like Chris Webber and that.
No one.
Oh damn.
Why? Because no one deserves it.
Fellas, we gotta move on from the jersey.
Respect Oscar Robertson.
Yeah, Ron, let's get to these super chats, man.
Yeah, let's do that.
Come on, man. This is ridiculous.
We also have one more underdog contest that we have to do amongst everybody else up here. Fluent, I need your Malcolm Brogdon pick. Ticket, I need your Kyle Lowry pick, and I got a couple other.
Kyle Lowry pick what? Nah, and it's only ridiculous because Low don't agree. If Deke and Low don't agree, it's ridiculous. Go ahead. You said what Kyle Lowry pick?
No. All right, here we go. First, Malcolm Brogdon for you, Fluent. You said he's gonna have a good night tonight?
Well, here's the problem. He's a game time decision, so I don't know if you want to make the bet, because if he plays, I'm telling you, he's gonna have a big game, but he might not play because of his elbow. He has something going on.
He's a trooper. He's a tough guy. He's probably gonna play. So
he got a torn tendon in his arm, bro.
Oh, like LeBron James had in his foot.
Yeah, but hold on. Hold on. That was a lie, because LeBron said that it healed perfectly. Hold on. He said it healed perfectly. Hold on. Check this out. He said it healed perfectly, and guess what just happened right now as we're talking? Now they're coming out saying that he's going to have to probably have surgery this summer, that he really did have a tear. Now, which one is it?
Sorry, he was playing through it, bro. That's what happened.
Breaks again.
Yeah, that's why he tricked the reverse dunk, right? Okay. Yeah.
Al Hurts controlling panel, man.
All right, so we're not gonna go with Malcolm just because of
game
concerns
decision,
and everything.
Too risky.
So yeah, let Fluent. I have another player for you then. Grant Williams.
I can't read that, so you got to tell me what it says.
Points 7 or above.
Above. Oh yeah. He's double digits tonight.
Higher than 7. Go ahead and bring up Kyle Lowry.
What's up, Euro?
Ticket, this is for you. Can you scroll down a little bit, Euro? Yeah, let's do points and assists. 16.5. Since you think he's going off tonight, Ticket, higher or lower than 16.5 points and assists?
That would mean 10.7 assists.
Yep.
Higher.
So Lowry. Higher. It is.
Hey, yo, why y'all talking about the man butt, man? What's wrong?
Yo, that's what the chat called him. Bro. Just,
That's low, man. Why Lowe's running around saying that Kyle Lowry is thick? That's crazy. Come on, man.
Yo, first of all, somebody saying BBL Lowry. No, bro. The
You said that, bro. You said Kyle Lowry is thick, bro. You said.
I mean, he is, but saying that it's not.
What do young people say? Pause.
Yeah, but it's not. Somebody saying BBL Lowry, y'all. You don't get it. It's just BBL. Period. The BBL stands for Big Booty Lowry. That's what I'm saying, bro. So come on, it's just BBL.
It's redundant to say Lowry at the end.
It's redundant to say you're saying Big Booty Lowry. It's just Big Booty Lowry.
Yeah. It's like when people say FYI for your information. Dude, you just said the same thing twice. I got you.
Come on.
all right, let's keep it pushing. Chill. I got somebody for you. His name is Max Strus.
17 and a half points, 17 points, rebounds. I'm going to go higher on that.
Points, rebounds, assists?
Yeah, I'm going to go higher on that.
All right, cool. Mars, you have the luxury of getting Duncan Robinson, and it's 35 minutes tonight. We're just going to go 8.5 points.
So 3 threes.
Yes.
Yeah, he'll go 3 for 10. Higher.
Low, last but not least. Actually, Low, which player you want? Anybody.
We already did Jimmy.
We did the good plays. We already did the good plays. You have to pick the mediocre. Do Caleb Martin.
Caleb Martin.
Martin is gonna have to carry Jimmy's legacy today.
Like he's been doing.
You're a damn troll, boy. and I told you it was gonna be Duncan Robinson hitting shots. Y'all
Let me go higher on the points. Let me go higher on the points because Caleb's gonna have to carry Jimmy tonight. So yeah.
Higher to 13 points?
Yeah.
Got it. All right, here we are.
He's gonna have to carry.
Euro, go ahead and put 2,000. I mean 2.
What?
No, go for
hey, y'all, and I'm gonna expose Low ass real quick.
Big money.
Secretly, Low wants Miami to win because he think that's Jokic's easiest path to a championship. I'm telling y'all.
Without it, I'll do. I actually do.
Euro, how much faith do you have in us? It's either 20 or 200. How much faith do you have in us? Or those guys at least.
I know my pick isn't gonna sell the whole.
Somebody up here is gonna sell. Somebody up here is gonna sell. Euro, it's up to you. 20 or 200.
We have 1,600 in there. Let's go 1,600. Let's go for it. 1,600.
Come on, scared money don't make no money.
All or nothing. All or nothing.
No, you're scared.
Close enough. 200.
Okay, scared. You're scared, Euro.
Hey, we will see who sold and who didn't. Did everybody go higher after you guys call everybody higher merchants? And everybody up here sat around and went higher.
I went higher.
Players have low numbers. They go higher on the stars.
Yeah, I'm gonna go higher because Jimmy's gonna fold tonight, so that's why I went higher on the role players.
Don't forget the link is in the bio. GoFundMe for our charity event on June the 17th. If anybody is in the Toronto area, come check out Ben Lee. You know Ben Lee? He plays for the Shanghai Sharks. He's gonna be doing a Q&A and teach some skills to all of our campers. If you're in the Toronto area, hit me up, DM me on Instagram. I'll get you in for free.
Peace. Ask him if he's looking forward to playing with D'Lo next season.
I will. I will. He's playing with Eric Bledsoe, I think, this season. Except, did you hear the coach was suspended for 5 years for point shaving?
I thought he was out the league indefinitely. I didn't know it was 5 years.
I heard there was something going on in China about something.
Yeah, I thought it was indefinitely.
Shanghai Sharks. I'm gonna see if I can ask him about that. You know, I like those stories. Point shaving, crazy.
All right, y'all. Moving along into the super chats. Josh Diaz said, "My Zeller comment is in reference to the finals matchup. Shout out to the panel for bringing me back to basketball. Also, pray for my Bulls to make trades."
Just get rid of DeMar DeRozan. That's what you need to do. Get rid of DeMar.
Why do you hate DeMar so much?
I don't hate DeMar DeRozan.
You do 100%.
I don't hate
any
NBA players.
Yes, you do. You hate DeMar DeRozan. You can't stand him. Him and Julius Randle. Yes, you do.
Okay, first of all, Julius Randle's not hate. I'm just correct. Like that's what it is. Everything I said about Julius Randle was just correct. Like I haven't lied.
You hate DeMar. Come on.
DeMar DeRozan, I make fun of the fact that he's egregious in the playoffs, but I don't hate him for it because he hasn't played for any team that I've been rooting for, so I don't care.
I make fun of people who think that he's somebody that he's not. That's what
I just find it funny that like that's what it is. I don't have any ill will towards any of these guys because I don't care for the most part.
There's a lot of things that y'all say here that I literally laugh out loud. And so when y'all say something about DeMar DeRozan and him being a franchise player or something or MVP candidate, like Chill did last year, literally I was laughing. I was like, oh man, that's hilarious. That's a good joke.
It was a conversation. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say.
I don't mean to go back to this, but you said Carmelo Anthony was the second leading scorer in Knicks history.
Oh no, it's going to be like Walt Frazier.
He's seventh. So are we retiring Patrick Ewing, Walt Frazier, Willis Reed, Allen Houston?
Why haven't we retired his jersey?
Number?
That's a good question. Why hasn't Willis Reed's jersey retired? Walt Frazier's jersey's retired. Let's see.
Ewing's jersey's retired.
Ewing's jersey's retired.
But Allen Houston.
You're starting to lose me a little bit, Allen Houston. You're starting to lose
LeBron?
That might be a little tricky. That might be a little tricky.
They're higher than
Also, I think it's also very situational about the organization, right? Like the bar that is set for Minnesota for you get your jersey retired should be lower than like the Lakers. Like those are like two different.
Should it?
I agree because one franchise has nothing.
I'm just asking, should it?
Yes. Every franchise is held to a different standard. The same way players are.
So Tone, let me ask y'all a question. Should LeBron get a statue outside of the crypto?
No.
Statue? Hell
no.
No. He shouldn't get his jersey retired in LA.
I agree. I agree with that.
Rudy, not in LA. The guy played in LA for 5 years, got one chip, fine. 2 times he missed the playoffs, then got knocked out in the first round and got swept in the conference finals. That's not an all-time great Laker. Should Rudy T have his number retired as an all-time great Houston Rocket player? Not coach, player? No.
For getting punched in the face like that, maybe.
Yeah, they did. It's crazy.
If LeBron did that in Phoenix, he would have his jersey retired. That's my point.
Yeah, if he won a championship for Phoenix,
If he played 5 years in Phoenix and won one chip, he would?
I think he played 5 to 6 years, and he won the only championship.
So you agree then Kawhi should get his number retired in Toronto?
And just so you know,
I'm saying they would. I wouldn't. I'm saying they would.
I think they should.
Hold on. So
I'm not retiring someone's jersey for 1 year. That's what they.
So y'all watch it. So with Fluent, with your logic, CP3 shouldn't get his jersey retired anywhere. Then
facts.
And Chamberlain got his jersey retired with the Lakers. He only played 4 years there. Just so you know.
Shouldn't have.
No, I'm asking y'all. Hold on. So Chris Paul, you guys, hold on. So the Pelicans should not retire Chris Paul's jersey. The Pelicans or the Clippers?
No.
He said no.
No, I'm asking all the rest of y'all. I ain't just asking him. I'm asking all y'all.
I think Clippers should, but I mean, he said no though. I mean, so Fluent has that end all be all. So
I'd be a much better league if I was in charge. Sorry, go ahead with your super chats.
Fluent is here. Ron.
What you got, Ron?
Ron isn't here, so we'll go to the next one, man. Josh Diaz says, my Zilla comment isn't in reference to the finals matchup. Should I start here or should I go lower?
We already read that one. Okay, we read that one already.
There we go.
R.P. Tina Turner, yes. The Queen. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
That's facts. Coach Bud is at Airhead.
Like I said, oh yeah. Like I was saying, oh yeah.
Facts. Josh Diaz again says, Doc's teams get him into the playoffs. 08 Merchant.
He wasn't making the playoffs in Boston before the super team.
He was not. No, he wasn't.
No.
Oh, my bad.
There we go.
Cash Out Abu. Mars and Fluent is top tier trolling. They are.
Hold on, Mars. 1 second. So what about when Doc was with the Clippers before he got Kawhi and all of them?
They missed the playoffs.
2018, they missed the playoffs. 2018,
No. He made the playoffs and they took the.
That's 2019. Yeah, that's 2019. What about the year?
2018, they missed the playoffs.
Yeah, what about the year before?
I'm saying he proved he could do it though.
I know, but he also.
Oh, but no, because you said an hour ago he always makes the playoffs. That's what you said.
That is what you said, Fluent. I mean,
So in
Y'all
2018,
some
when he didn't make
cold-blooded,
it,
y'all some cold-blooded haters,
no,
man.
I'm just using your words. You said Doc Rivers always makes the playoffs. That's what you said, and he doesn't. So you're wrong.
I have to go. I have a
Alright,
meeting. I just want to say, Mars, you and I apparently are getting our numbers retired because we're top tier trollers. So congratulations on your number being
in the
retired.
rafters. Hey.
See you tonight, Tone.
See you tonight, brother. Fluent and chill.
Oh yeah, Tone. When you come on the show tonight, look for me in the comment section, sucker.
I'll bring you on. I'll bring you on the live.
No, we're not getting ticket on. No,
Ron, who was doing your job for you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank
El
you, I
Hurst.
appreciate that. Facts.
We got through like 5 super chats in 2 minutes. He was just
we
zooming.
We
on
ripping and running them, man. Unlike you, man. El host. Put the El host.
All right, I got another super chat from Lit17. He said, "Low and Mars is low key very condescending."
Well, Low is not low key condescending. He's
Low should have read that
high
super
key.
chat himself.
Yeah, Low is not low.
I'm high key condescending.
Yes, Low is not low key condescending. He's
Some of the
he's
stuff they be
epitome
saying
of-
up here is
yeah.
hilarious, man. It be jokes,
Mhm.
man. Peak level comedy.
What's the funniest thing you heard today? Real quick.
Oh,
real
I
quick.
think
Who's better offensively, Jokic or Kevin McCall?
that is the funniest thing I've
That's
ever
a
heard.
great
today.
question.
That is that's actually the worst thing I've heard all year long. That's the worst thing I've heard all year long
Jeez.
because they're not in the same stratosphere, man.
Damn. Well,
Man, you crazy as hell. Everybody know what Kevin was in that post.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, in a post, yes, but you said offense, not a post player. That's what you said. That's by far the craziest thing I've heard all year, actually.
all right, y'all. Lonnie Williams said NBA testing new flop rule, which results in a technical free throw. Who you got getting the most flop calls on them next year? I got Smarter Lowry.
How do they
Definitely.
determine what's a flop?
That's the problem because there's quote unquote supposed to be flop rules now where you get charged with an actual fine.
$5,000.
And how? When's the last time you heard about it?
I haven't.
That's what I'm saying. And we all know for a fact they flop all the time. So
Because
Marcus
every time a player takes a charge, they barely get touched and they go flying. Like
yeah.
Marcus Smart is the epitome of that. He is the
So-
epitome of that.
I think what's going to happen is whenever that rule gets implemented, if it gets implemented next year, they're going to like, oh my God, we got to overreact to everything. And there's going to be a bunch of texts. And then like 2 years later, you'll never hear about the rule again.
Right.
Or you'll very rarely hear about it. Yeah, but that's also why Jokic is peak offense because he gets his points in the most moral way possible. He doesn't flop. He's a moral hooper.
Steph's more moral.
I'd say that back. Jimmy's actually a very moral.
Who
hooper.
trolling right now?
Jimmy, that free throw merchant. Oh, God forbid.
Yeah, but he doesn't flop though.
Nah, free throw merchant.
He doesn't flop. He doesn't.
Nah,
flop.
free throw merchant.
Yeah,
That's
Aren't
not
you a
moral
Harden
bucket.
fan? Aren't
That's
you a
not
Harden
moral.
fan? Aren't
I'm
you a
not a
Harden
fan of. I'm not a fan of Harden. I hate watching Harden play.
Oh, okay.
He's just really good at basketball.
Jalen
Well,
Green
was.
is also yeah.
Like,
Yo.
We lost it.
No, we didn't lose
No,
him. He
no.
got terminated for that
Oh,
blasphemy he was about to say.
All right, y'all.
I don't
Jason
wanna
the Kid
dispute
said,
the
ticket cooking. What is Joker's competition? In the 90s, Joker would average 15, 8, and 6.
Well, he doesn't play in the 90s.
He
So
doesn't
who
play in the
cares?
90s though, man. So I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Like, you guys think these arguments where you say put in a player 30 years ago proves something. It doesn't. That means nothing to me. Telling me what a player would do 30 years ago when they don't play at that time means nothing. Literally nothing.
Hypothetical hoops.
Like, how are you going to tell me what he would average? Like, you didn't see him play. Like, how
Also,
would you
who did Patrick Ewing play in the East until 97?
In the East?
Oh,
He
as a
plays
big.
as a big, yeah. Because he never played Shaq in the East.
Yeah, he did play Shaq. In 92, when Shaq showed up, he did play against Shaq.
I mean, like in the playoffs.
Oh, in the playoffs. Rick Smits,
Okay, so
Bill Laimbeer, Robert Parrish.
like I said, we can move on.
Robert Parrish was.
He was old.
Yeah.
Old.
Oof.
I know,
Moses
but if I bring
Moses,
Malone.
another old
another
guy.
old one. If I bring up Chris Webber with the Sixers, all of a sudden all hell breaks loose. But come on now, Robert Parrish. Yeah, he played nobodies. That's what I thought.
No, Rick Smith was nice.
Stop, Mars.
Rick Smith was a good player.
Made the All-Star team.
I guess Rudy Gobert is also a really good defender, right?
Well, yeah,
Yes,
I think
he is.
I think Rudy Gobert
Yes,
is.
he
Yeah.
yes, really is
okay.
a really good defender. Yes, he is.
Twin Towers out there in Minnesota make him look crazy.
Mhm.
And AD punished him. Pause.
What was that?
Dorian Clayton said, "Have y'all seen?"
You just did this one.
I gotta read it. Dorian Clayton said,
this
"Have
is
y'all
different
seen that they'll
Oh.
do technical free throws for players flopping? I think it'd be good for the game. They'll do a trial in the summer league."
Yo, Ron, why did you skip something?
What else?
Hurst.
You skipped one.
No, I didn't.
Yes,
What
you did.
about someone's cousin?
Demon Corey Harris. You skipped that one.
Yo, look.
Yo, look at this.
Hey, he said
Yo,
the super chat.
You skipped one, man.
Yo,
Put that on the screen.
I'm reading. My man Donovan Samuel sent the
No
more important
way.
chat. Donovan Samuel
Crazy.
says, "Has there ever been a discussion on your social media platform that you went overboard arguing your point with the casual? Then you realize you put too much energy into trying to prove your point."
Don't ever argue with an idiot because they'll bring you down to their level and they'll beat you.
2 days ago,
But it is good content. But it is good content when you argue with an idiot.
Two days ago, Ticket had me talking to a casual. Ron.
Oh, that guy on Ticket Stream who was making no sense.
Yeah, he was making no sense.
Yeah, I was in the chat. I saw that he was confused.
Ticket. I mean, Ron.
What's up,
Demon
We have to
Corey
read
Harris.
his super
You
chat.
have to read the super
I don't
chat.
see no super chat from Demon Corey Harris.
There we go. Ron, you single? My cousin trying to date you.
Hey, Demon Corey Harris. I know you got Demon in your name, but like it's really my middle name. I don't know if you want your cousin to come over here playing with. She gonna come over here saying
That is the worst possible answer.
Yeah, that was a crazy answer.
Hey, but to like answer your question sincerely, yeah, I'm single, and so tell her to hit me up on Instagram.
Look, he bowed it.
Yeah, he is.
Hey, all your single cousins, tell them to hit me. Oscar Proud Jr. said he was the number one pick, Bron, AD, and Reed number one pick, so that's how he should look. Or even Wiggins. He's not even close to Steven Adams. Shout out Kwame, but he's a bust.
I think he's a bust as well. I don't think every number one pick needs to be Bron, AD, or Kyrie, but he is a bust.
I'm one or two more for me, and I gotta bounce.
Yep.
Crippled Thumb said, "Salute to the guys, man. Y'all keep me engaged, even though my dubs are gone. Keep up the great work."
We out here, my man. We out here. No doubt.
Walker said, "When did Hakeem become one of the GOAT defenders?"
1994.
Stop.
That was it for me.
Exactly. See,
That was it for me.
Why? But why though? Why?
I felt like
March, stop. Why? Chill.
So in 88, was it 88, 89, when he didn't make the All-League defensive team, I was surprised that he didn't make the All-League defensive team. And I had him up there with the all-time great big defenders like Jabbar, like Mark Eaton at that point. And then when we got to 94, and it just solidified it. I had already felt like that about him moving up to that point. But then when we got to 1994, when he did what he done, I think he was Defensive Player of the Year in back-to-back seasons, and he was just a force. At that point, it had just solidified it for me that this is the best. This is the best defensive big, the best defensive player that I've seen.
So he had to win DPOY to solidify that for you?
I think for me it did. It stamped it for me.
So how do you feel about Tim Duncan defensively?
I think Tim Duncan is a top 5 defender all time.
But he doesn't have a DPOY.
So
would it be higher if he did?
I think, to be honest with you, that kind of stuff, that doesn't mean when you don't get it, it doesn't mean that you ain't playing at that level. Because you are you absolutely are playing at that level. That doesn't mean that you're not you're not a great all-time, you're not an all-time great defensive player. But when you become the Defensive Player of the Year and you're doing it consecutively, it means a lot more for me.
Not to chill. You understand what we're saying though, right? Like your opinion is going to change drastically just because he got an award.
Well, anybody can get an award, right? Just
Chill,
like
he could have got 3 in a row. Let's say Duncan. If Duncan got 3 DPOYs in a row, does that change who he was as a defender to you?
I think so. Yeah, man, it does.
He plays the exact same defense.
It just stamps it. What it does is it stamps it. But I can't. Don't get me wrong. I don't put him on I put him on the same level. I put him on the same level with guys like Ben Wallace. I put him on the same level with guys like Bill Russell. I put him on the same level. They just surpassed it. Bill Russell never won the Defensive Player of the Year.
I know.
It didn't exist. He would have won that.
Yeah, he would have won it. But the point is that The fact that you play at that level and you don't win league MVP, you don't win the defensive player of the year, that doesn't mean that you're not that awesome. But the fact that you do it, the fact that you do win that, it just stamps that you're that awesome.
So
it stamps that other people think you were that awesome. That's what
if Duncan won 3 DPOYs, he would be the second greatest defender of all time to you. He plays the exact same. Yeah, he plays the exact same defense. Nothing changes. He just wins the DPOY. He will become the third. Second greatest defender.
I'm not going to say this, but we having a different conversation about Tim Duncan as a defender. I think we would be. I would be having a different conversation. See, the difference between you and Melo is that accolades matter. Accolades matter to me, man. I care about what you did, and I care about what you produced and what these things ultimately meant. So being a defensive player of the year means that I was one of the best defensive players in the game.
But we know he was that already.
He was already that already.
Right. He was already that already. And it got stamped by me winning the defensive player of the year. It's like being one of the better workers. Well, when you get you're just as good a worker as this guy. But when you get a promotion, it stamps that. That doesn't mean that you're not as good as this guy because you didn't get a promotion. But the fact that you did, it stamps that I am that good, if not better. And that's what being the defensive player of the year. That's what being the league MVP means. That's what being the sixth man of the year. That's why they give these awards out, because they matter.
The way I view, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I view and what I'm hearing you say is Tim Duncan to you was a top 5 defender of all time. He didn't have the defensive player of the years, but you know he was of that caliber and he could have won it. I do feel like, and maybe there's years where he should have won it, but he didn't. So what it sounds like to me is you're saying the voters, when they have just as many opinions as we do, they have opinions on these players. Mm-hmm. They vote for him, and because they believe he's the best defender these years, that means I must hold him in higher regard now because other people thought he was this good. That doesn't make sense to me. Do you get what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying, because essentially, if he won a defensive player of the year, he won it because they said that he was not because I said he was the best.
Yes.
But when somebody wins the defensive player of the year, so for example, when Olajuwon wins the defensive player of the year, I felt like he was the best defender in the game. So it's not
whether or not he won it, right? Whether or not he won it, you felt he was the best defender in the game.
Well, when somebody else won it, so for example, when David Robinson won it, the year that David Robinson won it, I felt like David Robinson was a better defender that year than Hakeem Olajuwon. But you could make the argument Hakeem was the better defender. That's not just because they voted for him. I looked at those two and went, that could have went either way.
So because let's do it another way. Is there a time where somebody won DPOY and you didn't think they were the best defender?
Marcus Smart. There we go.
Marc Gasol.
There we go.
Marc Gasol. So that is an indication.
And James, I felt like he played at that level.
He was undeniably the better defender. I wholeheartedly agree. So that is an indication. So Ben Wallace a better defender, better at D than Duncan. It's debatable, but that is an indication, right? That just because you win an award, that does not then mean like that shouldn't be the stamp of approval. Like this is where, ironically enough, I agree with Dell, because Dell makes similar arguments where he doesn't care about what the accolades are because he can just make the assessment of who these players are. I'm not waiting for them to tell me who wins the MVP or not for me to make the assessment of who was the most valuable player of the year. Right. I'm not waiting for them to tell me who won DPOY for me to then make the determination of
watch your mouth, Lo.
Who's the best defender in the league, right? Like,
watch your mouth.
I'm not waiting on that. But
watch your mouth, Lo.
To an extent, I understand. I don't know. To an extent, though, I understand why we have to go and abide by that through certain eras in NBA history, because we have no other choice but to, because we didn't watch them, right?
Big Ben Wallace was a better defender. Big Ben Wallace was a better defender.
But if we're talking about basketball that we've actually watched, I just don't think that any of us should ever have to rely on that. That doesn't.
Hold on. And we watch Ben Wallace. We watched Tim Duncan. Ben Wallace was a better defender.
That's not the argument. That's not the
argument.
No. That's the answer to the nigga. That's the answer to the guy on the screen.
That's cool. Okay.
And to your point, Lo, right? We shouldn't have to rely on that, because there were years where I felt like a guy won the league MVP and I thought this guy was better.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean that the guy who didn't win it, I don't hold him in as just as high regard. But there were also times when this guy won the defensive player of the year and I thought he was the best defender. I thought he was the best. I thought he was the best player. So because of that, I just think it stamped how I actually felt about that person. Now, right? I don't know about
Yo.
confidence.
That's what it is.
It is. That's literally what it's
when your opinion lines up with the accolades, that would be confirmation bias. The accolade confirms your opinion. When it doesn't
Watch
line
your
up, it's
mouth,
like,
Deacon Low.
Oh, I don't know. But look,
Keep going, Malls, as
I
you-
just want you to answer the question, Low. I want you to answer that
he said
question.
it's debatable. He already answered. He said it was debatable. That's what he said.
No. He ain't answer the question. No, because when I do that, answer the question. You ain't answer my answer the question.
debatable is the answer. Anyway,
No.
You're a cabin
No,
has
Lo. You pressed me into reading that super chat. Now answer the question. Nah. Come on, we want to hear it.
man, it's 2:00, man. Me and Chill
Yes, about that time.
we gotta go, man.
Yeah.
I'll catch y'all later, man. It's been nice. Take it
Low
easy.
down.
Hold on. Answer the question, Deacon Low.
I love these
Ask the
questions,
question.
man.
He ducking the question.
This is why we up here, Mars. This is Mars challenges me, Low, so we can get definitive
But
answers.
you understand what we saying, though, Chill, right? You
Absolutely,
get
I
what I'm
understand.
saying.
You gotta answer the question. Don't go back to the topic. Answer the question, though.
No, I just want to make sure because what's really what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to convert
Yeah,
Chill.
Lo's ducking.
That's
I'm
really
trying
what
to-
you're doing. That's what
I'm
he's
trying
trying
to-
to do, and it's not working. That's the problem that we're
I'm trying to
having.
convert Chill.
He's working on me, and
Yeah, slowly but surely. I think it's one at a time. Like the two people I think I can really convert is Chill and Dell. I think those are the two. And Fluent too. But everybody else,
everyone, basically.
you're having a difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lo.
You got dub. You got dub.
You got some.
Dub's
No, I
such a-
will tell you this, Lo. You got some good reasoning, and you got some difficult. You got some good logic. But I do my best to counter. I slip the jab when you throw it at me. I do. I definitely slip the jab. You hit me sometimes with a body shot, but I'll come back with. I'll definitely come back with an overhand right. No doubt about that. But hey, Ron, I got to bounce. It's about that time for me, my man. I will see you dudes tomorrow. We will get back to it 100%.
And to answer the question, Tim Duncan. All right, I'll catch y'all later, man.
Hey, Lo, you a nasty mofo, Lo. You sad, bro. Capping ass, nigga.
Oh wow. Hey yo.
Oh, it's just me and you tomorrow? Oh, that's your ass.
We're just gonna read super chats.
Yeah. We gonna run through these last couple of super chats and get up out of here. Jared Williams said, but if the number player forces his way out and leaves, then he is known for stacking the deck or not being the guy. Lose situation.
That's why you stay with your team.
Fluent in Mars from Lonnie Williams. He said, Fluent in Mars, who do you guys like in the draft? Anyone we should look out? I know the Twins got potential, but are raw. But anyone else besides the obvious?
I like Cason Wallace. I spoke about him a few weeks ago. I like Jarris Walker. I like Taylor Hendricks. Anthony Black is interesting to me. I don't know what he'll be, but he's an interesting prospect.
Anthony Black, for real.
Yeah, he's very interesting to me.
He got game to me.
But yeah, those would be like the main ones.
What about the other cat from Arkansas, Nick Smith? What you think about him?
From what I've seen, he was like he's polarizing because he didn't play as well as people expected. So people don't know what to think of it. I like his shot creation, but there's quite a few question marks. So I think in the right situation he can be a good piece like down the line, but I'm not crazy high on him. I think he's okay. But yeah. I like those guys who I said.
And there you have it. We'll talk more about the draft come as it gets closer to it. We're gonna do a live draft show. We're gonna get into all of that good stuff. Y'all just stay patient. We'll get there. Leovold said, so Melo gets a pass from Chill's winning bias. Why?
Because we're only talking about jersey retirement. It's not being the greatest player of all time. So that's why.
Expert Wanderer said, Googled it. Ticket's usual profile picture does look like Terry Crews. Oscar Proud Jr. said, retired jerseys is what you did there. F what you won.
Well, what you won is part of what you did there, to be fair.
Barn Burners Inc. said, why Mars and Low be so salty about Ticket? They be hiding from him on Open Gym for real. But when we going to talk about Jokic getting bailed out in fourth quarters?
I don't think I'm salty. And I don't hide from Ticket on Open Gym. I just do a show without him. I don't know what we want to do about that. And Jokic gets bailed out in the fourth quarters. There we go. We spoke about it.
Taquay White said, so since it just came out, LeBron was playing with a torn tendon. Does he get the same injury pass as Kobe did in 2011?
No.
We'll pass to Kobe. Kobe didn't get no pass. I didn't nobody say, oh, will Kobe get a pass for losing that? Hell out of here with that bull jazz.
I think it's because every time someone brings up Kobe got swept by Dallas, you say his ankle was the size of a grapefruit. I think.
No, what I said was they never talk about how his ankle was the size of a grapefruit because nobody ever gave him the media now. LeBron's James right now.
Well, you talk about it.
Reggie Red said, "Low, why did you say you don't respect anyone in the '90s outside of Jordan and Hakeem?" We'll have to ask him that next time.
Because he said because of illegal defense. That's why he said because of illegal defense. Long story short.
Dimitri. Thanks for the super chat, Dimitri. He said
Dimitri Radyanovich.
Dimitri Radyanovich. Appreciate you. He said Kings retire Peja Stojakovic's jersey.
Come on, but he's talking about Carmelo's can't get retired. Capping ass, nigga.
One Way Spud 1 said Melo is 7th as a Knick in points.
Yeah,
hey,
you haven't told us.
Hey, One Way Spud, I seen you just follow me on Instagram. I followed you back. Anybody else who wants to follow me, LaRon.com. I'm following everybody for the remainder of the day, but when Friday hits, you're not getting followed back. Vamp said Fluent, should Toronto retire DeRozan's jersey?
He said no.
D. Bukayu Saka said Mars definitely hates DeRozan.
I don't hate any NBA players. I do think it's funny to make fun of him, though.
Roland Curtis said, at this point, should anyone who is still claiming LeBron James to be the GOAT be regarded as a troll? Has LeBron lost his second place behind Jordan?
I don't think I'm a troll.
There you have it. Leb Onar said, Ticket, who's your favorite sucker in the panel? Ticket, you got a favorite sucker on the panel? Fire. Oh, man. Leaf Diggy said, Legend of Glazing silly enough to put peak Jokic over peak Steph offensively?
I don't think he's done that yet.
And last but certainly not least, Mars, since Lowe was ducking the question, he answered, but he didn't really give us a straight answer. Josh Diaz said, so Ben Wallace better at D than Duncan? Mars, you can answer this on our way out.
At their peak, I'd probably say Ben Wallace. At their peak, I'd probably say Ben Wallace. Over the course of their career, I'd take Tim Duncan.
Ticket? Okay. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys wanted a Ticket versus Mars show?